going on? Why is the camera all fucked up? Oh, I know why.
Oh
Fuck,
no.
I know why. Hold on. I know
Tell me
now.
why.
Let me just sit down here.
Guys.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Fixed it. Fixed it,
Oh,
chat.
man.
Oh,
Was that the
dude.
4-man cam?
Yeah.
138
yeah.
episodes,
You know
guys.
what? Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what's fucking crazy is like we had all this time sitting here. I was like, oh no, everything's great. It's fine. It's fucking perfect. And then like I was like, cool, I'm ready before the show is ready. I got everything done. Nope, not at all. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, well, how's everybody doing? Welcome into the fucking show.
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah, man.
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
It's a Thursday.
It is a Thursday, and it is the Pre-Patch Podcast, and we are live here on YouTube. I'm sorry, Chet, that I'm not looking you in the eyes directly. I'm having to fix something on the
I
back.
got you. Well,
The
I'll sit
back
chat
end.
down while you do
So,
whatever you're doing.
yeah,
We need to
Well, why are
you
you
to get that
fixing your back end
AI.
live on stream, bud?
Hey man, listen, what I do with
we
my
need
back
you-
end is up to me.
We
and
need
nobody
we need to get you that AI stuff that's built into the Nvidia or the
Oh,
Nvidia
yeah.
that makes your eyes constantly look at the camera no matter what.
Yeah,
Kind of
but
creepy.
Creepy.
how's
yeah,
that
I don't
gonna
like
work
that.
when I'm looking off in this direction?
Uncanny
It
Valley
still
shit.
does it, dude. It
Your
still does
eyes
it.
will just bend, bro. Just like giving us
All
that
right.
side eye.
Now we're good. Now we're
Bombast.
good. So, welcome in everybody. Episode 138. The whole crew's here. Whole crew.
Hell
Got,
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody for the Pre-Patch Podcast. We've got Enigma.
Poke Tony.
We've got I guess he's poking Tony's rear end at his bad cock.
Oh.
And then
Well,
See, no, somebody's gonna get that because that was
I know
something
that.
we talked
I
about
know.
before the
That's
show.
an inside joke, and it's only inside for all of us. So you know, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and Tony.
and me.
But we got Bill, we've got Enigma, we've got the entire crew, and let me tell you something right now. We have got. I know I say this every single fucking episode, but I'm not gonna lie. We have so
It's
much
true.
to
We
fucking
have
talk
a
about.
ton.
It
So much
is
to talk about, man.
crazy, but want to first and foremost welcome everybody in on the live streams. If you're viewing us on Twitch or you're viewing us on YouTube, welcome in. If you're listening to us post production, well, hello, and you should join us on Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern here on our Twitch and YouTube page, Pre-Patch Podcast on both, and you can be part of the amazing live chat, and we get to talk to you, and you get to interact with us. But before we go any further, I do want to wish Miss Angelic, Tony's
Aw.
significant other, a happy birthday.
Appreciate that.
birthday.
Appreciate
Happy
that.
birthday.
Don't let him fool you. When we fucking started, he was like, "Nah, I don't want to wish her a happy birthday. Get out of here, bro. I ain't doing that."
nah,
Oh,
nah.
man.
I'm not a bad husband.
No, it's not about me. It's not about me, not you.
Let's talk about him,
Jesus.
Tony.
Oh,
You-
my bad.
Tony,
Tony's talking about me.
Christ. Tony's throwing himself
I
in
would-
front of the bus
I
for
would,
me.
I would hope that you
gosh.
wished your own
Just-
wife a happy
I
birthday.
did,
Like, come on now.
I did.
Just
Oh,
threw yourself
man.
onto train tracks for me. And by the way,
Be quiet.
don't push people in front of train tracks, even if they're kick douchebags and they're being assholes to you. I just want to kind of,
Yeah.
Bad
or-
employee.
Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Message.
put that
Don't
out
do
there. If you don't know what we're talking about, at TwitchCon just happened back in last weekend. And yeah, there was a lot of controversy around kind of, first off, kick streamers coming in and just like berating and just being obnoxious and rude.
Listen, though.
to
It's kick
Twitch streamers.
streamers. They
Is it
they
really that
only are
much of a
relevant when
surprise?
they're
Yeah.
harassing Twitch.
I mean, to be honest though, it actually caused quite a bit of backlash for a lot
Yeah.
of kick streamers, because they're just kind of like, listen, like this is not what we signed up for, and this has been a year now, and you need to clean up your act. Like there was a whole bunch of stuff that kind of came out about all of that.
I thought we
So,
were over it,
yeah.
honestly. Like they're there for a while, for like 6 months. We had nothing. It was just like Kick
Yeah.
was doing their own thing, Twitch was doing their own thing,
we're
man.
we're at least over it from the main like kick
Kinda.
sources. Like the
Yeah.
kick business is done
Yeah.
like riding the Twitch coattails. So
Yeah, I still see it, and you'll still see it every now and then on Twitter, but it's definitely died down.
Yeah.
At least in the main spotlight.
I mean, some of the
Well,
stuff I saw was like one dude like legit went up to a pretty famous Twitch streamer and asked to give him a hug, gave him a hug, then started like kissing all over his forehead, and then like kissed and
Delicious.
sucked on their nipple.
Yummy.
The kick
Wow.
streamer
I think I
sucked
saw
on
that.
the
I
Twitch
think-
streamer's nipple, and then started kissing another person and sucking on their hand without consent. None of this was consensual. It was like,
That's just
you know,
weird,
it's-
man.
yeah, it
that's
was-
not behavior anybody should just go into anywhere with. That's
yeah,
weird.
I don't know. So
Yummy.
If those,
It's-
if those
it's
people catch COVID, I'd be going directly to that person.
Licking
Yeah.
doorknobs.
so,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sucking
that's how Sin
nipples.
actually caught COVID all those
Yeah,
times
man.
before.
Licking all the
Kissing
foreheads,
people on the
bro.
foreheads.
all the foreheads. So
Yeah.
that was my mission. Twitch was to lick as many foreheads as I possibly could. So
Makes
I did pretty good, man.
Jesus.
59.
I was about to say, what was
5900.
your record?
5900.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
damn.
So,
Wow.
69.
That's-
yeah.
You gotta break that
59,
record.
59, 5900. All right. All right, guys. Enough bullshit. Are you guys ready to get into the show? Because, like I said, we do have a lot to talk about. We've all got games
Yeah.
we're going to be showcasing. All pretty much new games or games that are about to be released. So hold on tight for all of that stuff. Plus, we've got all of the Sony news. We got some Ubisoft news and just news all the way around. So, yeah. So
Cool.
actually, go ahead.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Do it.
I am actually going to start off here with Scruffy. You played a game called
Word.
Mystic Horizons.
Yeah, and I did
Oh,
that.
it's a
It's
mod, right?
actually it's a mod pack. Yeah, it's a mod pack for Minecraft, and I'm not
Okay,
gonna
we
go
can
into
skip past this. Nobody
Minecraft.
gives a shit. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it.
if we did your WoW, we're going to do this. This
My
is
WoW,
actually
I
a way better version than WoW. No, this is Mystic Horizons, though. It's a mod pack for Minecraft, as I said. This mod pack pretty much aims to make Minecraft a completely different game, turning it into a adventure RPG style mod pack. And it is just a absolute blast. It adds so many different features. I wish I had like better, like if you're watching the stream, I kind of showcase like some of the combat and features like that the game changes, but I didn't get like the best clips just because I don't know. I couldn't find good fights. But it really overhauls like the combat. Like I'm saying, it's adding a whole entire skill tree, which I do show on the stream at some point here if you are watching it. It is actually pretty expansive. And good news for Enigma, they have necromancy.
How
Sure.
many corpses?
They've had, yeah, dude, they've got summoning corpses. They've got all sorts of things. I'm going like some sort of a build where I'm like a I can't remember what it's called. I think I show it here, but it's like a Spellblade. It's a melee magic build, which is like one of my favorites, like niche, like skills and classes in RPGs. So I'm so happy to see it in this game. But they've done so much to like change everything, adding like so many dungeons. They've got the Ice and Fire mod, which is a very
Holy
popular one.
skill tree.
Yeah, dude, it's sick,
It's pretty
man.
big.
It is really
lot.
big. It's got over like 350 mods included in this mod pack, and it runs beautifully. I've only had like a few crashes, you know, but it's hard, and that's a lot to do with like the Ice and Fire mod because that is just a naturally hard RPG mod. Adding like dragons, I literally ran into like 3 of them on my way back just to my home.
This one's really bad too because I don't think like the Ice and Fire, the version that they're using, I don't think has the fix that Ice and Fire has for their dragons. Like no abuse on the dragons. They're-
Yeah,
they
like,
can
they're
get
just
rough, man.
relentless.
Like, they can get
yeah, they'll
extremely
chase
terrible.
you. They'll break buildings down. They'll do anything to get you. It's really it's tough. But man, it's so much fun. And I just wanted to show this cases because it's a brand new mod pack too. It came out like I think 2 weeks ago now, like 12 days ago. So it hasn't really hit like the true spotlight that it deserves. But there's a lot of people who are slowly starting to catch on, and it's just like. Yeah, it's a good time, man. I actually really want to play it with like you guys if you guys are down for something like this. Because
Nope.
Yeah, nope.
He said,
You
nope,
really,
nope.
You really would like this in.
I would not.
Oh,
One,
man. You
Cecilia
totally
already
would.
know. Look, see, I'm just want to say I'm corrupting. I am like a fucking seeping like fungus that just starts to get into all the nooks and crannies of your brain. And Cecilia already messaged it for me in chat. I don't have to. Does it have PvP? Because if it doesn't, it's not as good as what
Yeah.
it could be.
I mean, it does.
Okay,
You can turn
Okay.
on PvP. It's
Ooh,
that's a
okay.
server setting.
We do
Hell yeah.
have PvP on our server. It just we don't kill each other unless it's an accident. But
Okay,
you
see,
can
now
be
that's
that
boring.
dick.
Oh, of course.
No, you
Of course, I will absolutely be that dick.
You would
Um,
be.
Graphics are beautiful also. Like
Yeah.
now that you're
Yeah, so-
outside and like with the lighting and like
Totally. Yeah, that's the shaders that they have. I didn't even have to download them; they came naturally with the pack that
Yeah.
you can turn on.
Oculus, I think, is the shader pack that they're using, or the shader.
Yeah, I think
unit
so.
that they're
Yeah,
using.
What's
Okay.
fire?
yeah, very good
So-
looking.
Question. One, I'm noticing the camera is like this third person back behind the camera, and then for whatever
Yep.
reason, your character continuously keeps looking up at you. Why?
Yeah, what is up with
why
that?
is that?
It's a little odd. Like it's because like Minecraft has never had this kind of camera before, and also the way that like your character is looking at like your cursor, like your hit cursor thing, you know, in the middle. Because I didn't pull out a bow in this, but like you'll also see like wherever you're looking and holding a bow out, there'll be a laser shooting, and your character will like be looking that way. It's so like
That's interesting.
it's a bit weird, but it makes sense when you're in combat. Yeah, like when you're looking backwards, you're obviously not, your head's not going to turn 180, but I don't know. It looks odd, but it actually works really well for the combat because it's such
I
a
like
different
it.
style. Yeah.
Because I like it's like a little fourth wall break.
Yeah, when you look
Yeah,
backwards,
There's no idle
looking-
animation, so it
looking
has
right
to like
at you.
just look right at this camera. Yep,
So-
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
I think
look
I
at-
think the camera that they're using as well is called like Dark Souls camera or something along those lines. If I
Also, it
remember
is the
correctly, a
Dark
mod.
Souls of Minecraft mods.
Pretty
I
much.
I know
just-
some
yeah.
people that would really be into something like this. This just never scratched the itch for me when it came to like playing these types. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like 7 Days to Die and those type of games. I'm not saying
Yeah.
this is bad. It's just not my.
I think this
Yeah.
is definitely like a mod pack to try if like you aren't into like the original like just
Yeah.
style of Minecraft. This adds so much. Like if you're into like Skyrim or like Oblivion or anything like that, like this is your mod pack, or Dark Souls, like we were
Gotcha.
saying.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
man,
Yeah,
it's-
I was playing previous to this, I was playing another mod. What the hell is this? Okay, yeah, cool. Thanks, Curse Forge. I don't give a shit.
He's
Go
not
away.
living right now.
No. I was playing a mod pack previous to this, like maybe a month ago, called Prominence 2 with my buddies, and it had a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff to do. It had a lot of stuff in common, very
Mhm.
similar to it. So I'm curious to see
Oh, it's
like
cool.
what the difference between
It
the
comes
two
with its
is.
own resub alerts. That's really dope. Does that come in the mod naturally, or is that something
Yeah,
you had to
actually,
add
every
in?
time you play the mod, you get a sub. Yeah,
You get a
You get
sub?
some, yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
No, but
So,
it's
what is the
yeah, man.
what's the okay, what here's what I've always struggled with Minecraft, right? And I know
Yep.
I'm gonna sound like a fucking Gen X boomer right out of the gate. Like, what is the end goal point? Because I always load into Minecraft and I get everyone's like, "Well, just go to the Ender Dragon,
know,
go face the Ender fucking
I mean,
dragon."
It's so funny too because you're such a stickler for stories, and Minecraft
Story,
while
right?
it kind of has
Yeah.
a story. It doesn't. It really
It
like,
doesn't.
Yeah, but I gotta have
yeah, it
something to
has
go
back-
fucking push
it
me to
has
go
back-
do. I just don't want to dick
it has
around
backlore
and
and
But-
everything, but that's about it.
but
Minecraft
wait,
is one of those
wait.
games. Yeah, go for it.
But when there's something for you to do in a game like The Forest, you don't like it because it has story.
it's
yeah, but
attached
I
to
know
the
it's
story.
there. I know it's there.
Damn.
I know it's there. I don't have
Pick
to
a fucking lane and stick to
No.
it. Sid.
Seriously, seriously.
I don't like.
This,
I'm the
this is
same reason-
actually this is a game Sin, that does not have a story that you have to follow. or
Yeah,
anything.
I
It's
know,
a game where
but
you just
it's-
go out, you kill shit. There's in this mod pack specifically, there's bosses that you can progress. You can kill serpents to
Oh,
then kill
shit.
dragons to then kill a frost maw, like a big ass yeti dude. And there's like an actual progression, especially with you going down like a skill tree and everything like that. Like there
I don't
is
know.
just natural. It's a natural like
Didn't-
survival progression.
I never
It's
liked
sin-
playing with Legos. Like, and this is just like every time I
This
see
is
Minecraft,
Legos.
I'm
Never
just
mind,
like,
I
it's
forgot.
fucking Legos. Like,
Minecraft is Legos.
I just
Yep.
don't
Sin-
like.
Sin is like that girlfriend that you know at nighttime when you're like, hey babe, getting kind of hungry. What do you want for dinner? And she's
This
like,
is
oh,
where I get
I
mauled by a
want
dragon."
Chick-fil-A, and so you're like, okay, let's go. Get the keys. And she's like, you know what? Chick-fil-A's got chicken, so I don't really like that right now. I actually
don't like
want,
Chick-fil-A. It's not
I
that
just
great.
I just want bread. I just want the bread. And then you go and get her the bread. She's like, but I wanted the chicken. What? Why
No,
didn't you give
I never wanted the chicken. I never wanted the chicken. I don't know. Well, I'm happy.
I mean,
happy.
it's a great mod pack. I definitely suggest checking it out. It's on
I'm gonna check it
Curse
out.
Forge.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great time.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, there
Thank you,
is. Sorry, I was having to ban somebody in our chat. By the way, guys, don't ever buy fucking viewers. I'm just gonna let you know that. It doesn't ever.
Only, and
end up
if you do, buy them
working
from
out
us.
for you.
We're the
Yeah,
only
you can
trusted
buy 'em-
source for
you can
viewers.
Buy them directly from us. Yeah. I think Tony sells them. He sells his viewers,
Yeah.
or at least he puts his viewers on the corner. I know that. I've been out there a couple times. It's just cold on that corner.
It's cold out there,
Holy
man.
It's cold out there. All right, Enigma, you played a game called Echo Point Nova Titanfall. What the fuck? Oh no.
Just
It's just
no,
Titanfall meets
Echo,
Doom.
Echo
Okay.
Point Nova Titan. It's Titanfall meets
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I
kind of
get
like
the- yeah.
like Doom or like
Oh,
like
God.
almost
You said
almost like
tribes
a
almost?
tribes. Yeah, almost like a
Uh,
tribes. It feels like.
I was
Um,
planning to play this,
Woo.
and
Dude,
now
it's so
I'm glad-
fucking good, man.
Oh, hold on.
I'm all
I-
for
This
this
makes
is,
me
FOV.
sick watching it. Holy
this
shit.
is sick, but I would see. This is Adderall. I can't do this. Look at this. No,
oh my God.
absolutely not.
I'm
I'm
surprised.
surprised you're
Yeah,
playing
that's what I
this
was.
shit.
That's what I was about to say. I'm surprised that I liked it, dude. This was really fucking fun for me. This brought me
I'm-
back
I'm
to my
good.
tribes days.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
this
So-
definitely
this
looks
is
like
too much.
tribes.
The
Is this
FOV,
naturally,
the like motion blur, like
No, the FOV. This is 120 FOV. I don't
You
play
cranked.
games at like 90. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
cranked up FOV. I'm sorry.
So
I don't
wonder
play
if on-
games
I
at
wonder if
20
on
at night.
ultra wide it would actually look
Oh,
okay because
man.
like I bet on mine it would probably look disgustingly nasty.
All
Like
ultra
good. Like,
wide, you'd have to bend your eyes. Like
Well, I play all of my shit
You'll
on
get-
120.
You'll
Yeah.
get the fish eye shit. Yeah, but no, this is a brand new game. It literally just went into, I believe, early access or release today. I believe.
fighting
I
real
was
people here?
planning to play this.
No.
man. This,
So that's the only downside that I have to this. This game is not PvP. It's co-op.
I'm out.
But it is not PvP. You can PvP the people that you're playing co-op with though, if you want to.
yeah.
But it is not PvP, and that is something that I think it's lacking. I really do wish that
Yeah.
it had like a competitive mode almost.
Then I'll
but
give
this
you.
is from-
I'll give you same question. What's the point? What is your goal
This-
in this then? Is it just kill
So you're-
rooms? Just like
Yeah, it's so you have like these dungeons. Like you'll see me going towards these like lights in the distance, like these the little
Okay,
like,
yeah, the
yellow
glowing pillars.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
like dungeons essentially. And granted, this is a demo. This is just the demo version. I
Okay.
didn't have the full version, so I'm not entirely sure how they handle the full version. But the demo version just gave you like an expanse that you could just go in and do whatever you wanted to. Go to each of them, and each of those has a play area that has a difficulty range, right?
Okay.
So I think this one right here that I'm on right now that I'm going up to right now was a intermediate or a medium difficulty, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
But they ramp up in difficulty for
know-
each one that you go to.
you know what this is? This is a first-person shooter. Risk of Rain.
Kind of,
Yes.
almost,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
very
what
very
this looks
similar.
like.
That's what this
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
No,
I
very
had
very
to, like,
similar, except for
take it. Yeah.
you don't get the drops like you do in Risk of Rain. Like
What
they're
are these
at
like
least
chests or something? Or
those
you get
those are just like
upgrades?
upgrade points for your
Okay.
weapons. Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
occasionally get like new weapons. You'll see that I swap out like an LMG or an SMG for like a sniper rifle or a shotgun later on. There's
Yeah.
a grenade launcher later on as well.
What is
but
that
yeah,
thing
it-
underneath of your gun that keeps popping up
I,
whenever
I
you're like
noticed that.
sliding?
Yeah.
Is that your leg?
It's his fucking leg.
That's a no, that's not a leg. That's a surfboard. It's a
Oh.
magnetic
It's a
surfboard.
Okay.
surfboard.
I was like, it's
You're on a
spinning.
surfboard.
Why is your
Yeah.
leg spinning? Okay, so it's a surfboard.
No,
Gotcha.
that's
not,
what allows
that's
you.
not his leg, guys. Let me just tell you.
That's what allows you to
Oh,
ski. It's like a grav skateboard of some sort or something.
now
along those
that
lines.
I know what it is, it actually okay. That makes me
I'm-
looking at this
I'm
feel a lot
watching-
better.
I'm watching
I'm
the
sad that you guys
trailer.
don't like it, man. I really thought
No,
you
I-
guys
I-
would
I
like
said
it.
anything about not liking it. It's just the fact that here's
It's
what
got
I'm
a
saying.
grapple
I'm
hook.
watching the trailer, right? That's on Steam, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Versus watching this fishbowl fucking like shit where it's like, what the fuck is going on? That's all. But
So again, it might be something to do with I mean, obviously it's that I have it out at 120 FPS or 100.
Right.
I think this game, like, I also do play games in like the highest FOV, but
Yeah.
I think this is a game where I'd be like, I might have to just keep it. Set
I mean, it
standard.
didn't look bad standard. I just
Yeah.
if it has a field of view slider, I jack it up no matter what because that's That's
Yeah.
just
Not
I've
off,
been
not jack
trained
it
to
off,
do so.
just jack
It's,
it
pro-
up.
it's
Jack it up.
protocol.
Jack it up.
protocol.
Yeah,
Jack it off.
protocol.
Yeah.
Jack it up, not off. That's the protocol that I have.
Jack it up, not off. Oh,
Um,
my.
But yeah,
I like the
so
grapple hook mechanic. Like
it's
it's
just
got that Halo Infinite grapple hook.
yeah. It just feels very smooth. Like that's the best thing that I can say about the game is like getting into it, getting like learning the actual game and kind of it took me a little bit to get the controls down and like you guys said, like it feels very Adderall inducing and I don't know why I like it because I don't usually like those kinds of games where it's like the
Next you're gonna be playing the cracked out Call of Duty, bro.
Call of Duty,
I'm seeing
yeah.
it now.
He
You're
is.
gonna be
be
you're already
cranking
training for
90s
that
on
Omni-
cranking 90s on them kids, bitch.
That's yeah, sure.
It's crazy.
Isn't that what the kids say these days? I'm cranking
That's
90s.
No,
Fortnite,
Grandpa,
bro.
shut up. You should play. You should play Neon. Well, actually, if you do like this, I'm really surprised that you have not played or tried Neon White. I may put you into the
I'm not a
my
furry.
family share. Okay, you fuck off with the furry shit. It's exactly like this. It's the speed running, like you're shooting. Like we talked about it before. Like you should.
I
give it a
probably would.
shot.
I think when we talked about it, I said that this would be a game that I would probably play, but I just never got into it, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Neon
it's
White's
fun,
really
man. Like go and try the demo out at the very least. The demo's free. It's
Don't
got.
tell me
I
what to
think
do.
you've got a ton. Fuck you. Shut up. It's got it's got a ton of content just in the demo, and then if you feel like you want to pay for it, I believe the full game is only like $19. If I'm not mistaken, 22. I'm sorry, 22.49 currently, 10% off. It's made by Greylock Studios, and if you don't know who those guys are, they made a very similar game called Severed Steel, which was released, I believe, back in 2021, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Very, very similar to this game, but kind of more of like a super hot-esque style
Okay.
game.
Yeah,
if I'm being
yeah.
real. So
Can you
Now
drop
that- now
that
that I
title
see
one more
this,
time?
super
What's
hot.
this called?
Echo
this is-
Point Nova.
Echo Point Nova. Yep.
Oh, okay,
So-
gotcha.
Definitely. I mean,
I can see them adding PvP
I-
to this.
I like
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I really do. I really do think that they need to add PvP to it. Like if they had like a tribes PvP, that would be the ultimate. Like I would go back and play this. This is tribes that the current tribes doesn't have. Like the current tribes, this feels more like tribes than the current rendition of tribes does to me.
Yeah,
So-
I could. Yeah, okay. I mean, I could argue. I've not played this, so I don't know, but I could definitely argue. Does it have a demo?
He's
It
playing
does,
the
it
demo.
does.
That's what the demo is.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. Well, I didn't know if it still had a demo or not because Steam does this
Yep,
weird
it's-
shit
it's
now
still
where
up.
like they've separated the demos and the fucking regular games. Like, have you guys
So
seen
that
that?
They do
I
do
think
that,
that's yeah. I think that's on the developer.
That is what they did.
on the
though.
developer's side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on the
But-
developer side, I guess it's easier to just to put the price there. Because when I looked at this game, it looked like you actually had to pay money. I didn't know if there was a demo.
There's a demo. Yeah, you just got to go and type it into the Steam search engine, and it comes up with both.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's good. It's good fun. I liked it. I
Looks
enjoyed
good.
it. I probably shouldn't enjoy it because I really don't like these Adderall games, like the Twitch shooters. But it scratched an itch for me that I haven't gotten scratched since like
Hey, now.
back in like the original Doom days. Like they did a really good job with it, man. Like I'm really impressed. So
How
Buy
much is
some
the
of,
full game?
22
$25.
bucks on sale right now.
Oh,
or
that's a
25.
steal.
Yeah.
25 version. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've been looking at it like
It depends on how
looks
much
fun,
content they have.
but yeah, right
That's
at
the
this like
biggest thing
current
right there.
state, I'd give it like a $15. That's me. I'd
You all
go
are
as far
stingy.
as
This is
15.
25 easy.
I agree.
I don't even like
yeah.
these kinds of games.
I
don't know.
I agree with you. Just from playing the
Maybe
demo, I
if I
would say
played the
25
demo.
easy.
But
Is there a
So-
leaderboard? Like, do you have like?
I didn't see one, but it would be one of those things that I could see them adding at least. It would be kind
Not
of cool.
every game needs some online component though. Like it
It-
doesn't need a leaderboard. It
But
doesn't.
they've
I
got
mean,
co-op
they
already. That's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing is like they
I
have
think
co-op
if-
already. If they just would have added in PvP, I think it would have been an entirely another
Jesus.
story.
yeah,
Well,
I
the-
think if not adding PvP, adding leaderboards gives like that
Yeah.
style of like competitiveness.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
the,
Yeah.
for
the-
leaderboard
But
scores.
it's-
a lot of these games have, that is kind of a staple for
Yeah.
these like cracked out
Speed running type.
like you want to see
Yeah.
it.
Okay,
And,
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's a common.
I
thing.
can't
enjoyed it.
complain Astrobots
I
adding
don't know.
leaderboards. So.
Hey, actually,
Yeah.
dude,
Come
bro,
on,
okay,
damn,
yeah.
come on.
Look, it's a great segue for something real quick. Just wait for it. I'm gonna wait for it. Just wait. Look on stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
okay.
looking on stream. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, you got a physical copy. Ooh.
That is
Oh,
God.
badass.
yeah.
Ooh.
I'm proud of you,
no.
bud.
I am proud of you as well. Well
Oh,
done.
He's getting turned into a
What
Sony
made you want to get a
pony.
physical copy of Astrobot?
Well, actually, I was able to pretty much get it for free. Or I think it ended up giving. I got it for like $5 at GameStop because they fucked up a bunch of stuff.
Oh, one thing I
nice.
did I forgot to
Did you
mention,
get
it has
some pierogies with
destructible. One thing I forgot to mention, it has destructible environments as well.
Oh, that's
Which I
cool.
was really
So-
enjoying seeing, because now that means you could just go through walls or the floor.
But you can go through
it makes-
walls. You can literally, like, you can shoot a
Not
grenade at somebody
Astrobot,
and
this
send them
game.
flying off of the like out of a window or off the side of the map. I did that a lot in the
I mean,
third
I'm
one that was
gonna
extremely
agree.
difficult.
I'm gonna agree with Finnan. This needs PvP.
Yes,
It has
dude.
all of that.
I agree.
I
do.
feel
yeah.
like I feel like shooting some friends or shooting.
That was sick.
Yeah,
Well, you can
so-
shoot friends. Again,
Just, like,
there's a
slam
perk. There's
that
a perk
barrel.
called PvP that you can get that you can literally just shoot your
I
friends.
think they're gonna add PvP. Honestly, I think
think
they're
they will
just
too,
trying it
honestly,
all
in a
out
later
and then-
patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I feel like it might be too little, too late, because if you don't have something
I
that
don't
really
think so.
draws in the crowd, I don't know, man. Maybe, but
If
anyway.
anything, they'll make another game with PvP like this.
Maybe.
It seems like
Nice.
this is their niche, these kinds of
It's-
games.
their first game
good.
did extremely well, like extremely well.
To answer the
Sick.
question, and for what everybody, all the audio listeners, what I held up was a copy of Astrobot. And if you listened to our show 2 weeks ago, you actually, I didn't rail against Astrobot, but I was not the most, I don't know, I was not like all for Astrobot. I will say, having played it, I get it. I get the hype around it, because if you take that out of the controller, not that it does anything bad, right? But you take it out of the controller and you take the controller aspect away from
It's
it.
not as good.
I
as good.
don't feel that it's as good. Like, again, I'm not
Well, it's
knocking the
built.
platform.
It's
controller's
entirely
definitely
built.
a huge factor.
Yeah, it was
Right.
entirely
Mhm.
built around the controller. So if you take
Right.
the main reason for the game out of it, then yeah, it's gonna feel weird.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
still a
it's not
great
gonna-
and
it's not
competent
gonna matter.
platformer, but that immersion is like the tipping point.
Right. That's
Yeah.
kind of what
Yeah.
really puts it where I will sit down and put like a couple hours, I'd go through a couple maps, be like, okay. But what really kind of kept driving me was like, hey, like I really want to know what the next world is going to look like and how does it play into the controller. That's kind of what kept driving me. I could get like, it was cool seeing the bots and, as, the different characters and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, so I wanted to point that out. I also bought a physical copy. You should be very happy. I've got 4 physical copies of games for my PlayStation right now, but I bought a physical copy of NBA 2K25 as well. So anyway,
Nah, you could return that one.
no, I'm
Yeah, you can
enjoying the
definitely
shit out of
return
it.
that one for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
All
keep
right.
it.
Well, on the same path of what I've been playing, I'm gonna eat crow on this one too.
I'm so
Because
excited. I'm so excited.
Ain't no way.
dude,
Bro, that's what I said. I was like, what?
I
Yes.
picked
Playing
up
this?
and purchased trading card. What is this game called? TCG Shop
TCG
Simulator.
simulator. Yeah,
A
TCG
simulator.
simulator.
He
No,
picked
it's
up a simulator.
TCG Card Shop Simulator is the official name of this game.
I never thought I'd see you play a game like this.
I
I
never
never
thought
thought
I
I
would
think I
play
would
a
see this.
fucking simulator game either. But I absolutely have fallen in love with this game.
Yeah.
It is a game that has like taken over my Steam Deck. It is my like relaxing downtime game. It is, I don't know, maybe it's because it is just the type of game that it is. Like it's trading cards, right? So that automatically appeals to me. I spent a lot of time as a kid, or adolescent adult in trading card shops, and
And just so you guys are aware, he's already said that this would benefit from PvP. So we already
yes,
know
I
that.
actually do.
No,
Dude,
what
think
do you
about
mean by
this.
that? Do you mean
Okay.
competitive business like
Yes,
architecture?
like,
you
yes,
mean
dude, capitalism.
Not actual PvP, but like
Capitalism
Yeah, no, no, fine.
PvP
No, no,
Simulator
no,
2024.
yeah,
Oh
you're not
my
gonna run
God.
across the street and sock Sammy Hall in the fucking face or some shit for having a better shop than you.
No, but I think it
Shit.
would be dope as hell is to do the thing that like SimCity was trying to do back in the day. Whenever they relaunched, they wanted to have like a connected universe on here because you can like, in this game, you can set prices. You're gonna see, and it's all based on like market prices and all of that kind of stuff, right? Like on here, you see
You
like
can drive
market
down
price,
stock,
right?
you can drive down marketplace.
And like it shows like what other stores are pricing like their tournaments at or their cards at, and so that you can kind of adjust there. I think it would be fucking cool as hell to be able to go like not necessarily online like you're in the same world, but like you're all affecting a global like the global economy
global
or whatever
market,
else of your server. And so like me and Enigma, who Enigma has also been playing this.
You would lose. You
and
would lose
he
so fucking
drives the car like he is an absolute dick to his customers.
I am so wait. Before we do this, we will never, myself and Sin will never have a store together. Ever. Ever. Because he's the kind of person that's like, man, somebody complained, my day is ruined. I'm the kind of person that's like, you complained about my prices? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, and then he jacks the prices up 10%. He goes, "Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
I'm sorry.
extra.
You felt that was too high. 10% more. Fuck you."
I'm in agreement with Enigma here. I'm
gonna buy
side.
Like
I like
I'm
it.
trying to sit here and like wax and wane the market, and he's over here fucking just jacking the price up. So I don't know, but anyway,
inflating the market, baby.
Jacking it up, not jacking it off.
Yeah,
jacking off. Yeah.
Here's what keeps me coming back to this game. One, there is a gotcha element with the card pools. So very smartly they introduced pack opening, right, which is wildly addicting and people like. I mean, it's taken over. So you can obviously buy your cards and then you can open the packs and actually draw cards, and you're seeking that
and
like
you get a chance
that
for
big
like
hit,
shinies and shit.
right?
Yeah.
So you get the shinies, you can get the ultra rares, the first editions, all of that kind of stuff, and you can see like as you continue to progress in any simulator game, you're just expanding your store and you're adding stuff. What's also cool is that every like the playthroughs are very different. So like Enigma and I were chatting online while we were playing. And in his shop, the dice don't do very well.
Dice were dick, man.
Yeah.
They didn't sell worth a shit. I
But
bought
for
fucking 4 boxes of those bitches, and it took me like a week to sell all of them.
But for me, dice sell are one of my best sellers. So it's really cool, and you can set like tournaments, and you can you got stinky people that come in, you got to spray them down with
that's
Lysol.
my favorite part, bro. That's my favorite part, bro.
With Lysol.
Yeah,
you gotta grab the deodorant, and when they come in, you just spray them in the face until they go.
Oh wow!
It's actually being really accurate.
It is. It's being very accurate. Yeah.
Spray down the nerds.
So yeah, the game.
The only complaint that I have about this, and I'm pretty sure you were probably going to talk about it as well, is that there's not a lot to it. Like it's just one card game. I really do wish that they had like another card game. Like obviously this is supposed to be Pokemon. Don't sue them. Please don't sue them. Fucking Nintendo.
They will try.
Obviously this is supposed to be Pokemon.
Wait, I thought this was supposed to be Power World.
Oh shit!
I would love if there was like Yu-Gi-Oh or something along those lines, Magic the Gathering, something along those lines, right? Or
like that.
Also, if they added in like figurine customization, like figurine selling, like Warhammer 40K,
that would
everything
actually
like
be
that.
nice too.
I think that would be fucking dope, dude.
But I was
cool
in
if you could even
agreement
paint
with
your own.
Sinan when it comes to the tournaments. I thought when you said that it's like actual tournament. Can you imagine how cool it would be to go to an actual like meeting center and for everybody that owns their own card shops and put their best card on the line, and if you win, I thought that would be the premise too.
Later on down the road, they are also adding in the ability to actually play the card game that they've made. So I'm sure that will be a thing at some point in the future where you can actually like participate in those tournaments. I'm hoping, at least I really do hope that that's the case.
The cool thing about this and why, all of these things that we're talking about in this simulator specifically are wide open, and they really could do. Like they could go down a lot of different routes. I can't, I can't tell you why this simulator, because I notoriously do not like simulators. I fucking can't
I've told you, dude.
Car simulator.
I fucking told you that they're fun, dude. They're just stupid fun.
I don't like. Also, I'm a fucking dumbass because I didn't know that you could put things on that third shelf, on the top of that shelf. I just only had 2.
I told you that. I literally told you that like 4 times.
I'm also really bad about giving people the wrong change. So like I was sitting in here and I was like, because the guys they would come in, or the people would come in and they pay, and it's like they give you the money and it doesn't. It's like, okay, here's they $20 back or whatever else. Well, in my mind, oh, there's a stinky person. You're about to see him walk in the store. But like, I'm like, oh, $20, and I just hand him back a 20, and or whatever. The problem is that the game won't let you overcharge, but it sure as fuck will let you give them back all their money. Like it will absolutely do that. You can also
So you just
throw
give
away
them a free
product. I did
card?
that. Yeah. So,
Wow.
anyway, yeah.
So the biggest thing is from this point forward, if there's a multiplayer one that goes off of Supermarket Simulator,
I'll play
the previous one, it's called Supermarket Together. We should all actually play it, I think.
Oh wait, I didn't know that was
sin-
multiplayer. I actually have one.
Yeah, it's multiplayer. Yeah, it's multiplayer. It's like six to 8 people, I think. It can be in a
Wow.
fucking yeah.
That'd be fun.
He's the stock boy though. Sin's the stock boy. He doesn't
it's
get
all
to
one
touch.
shop.
It's all one shop. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I was
he's
about to say,
the
this,
stock
this
boy.
looks very similar to Supermarket Simulator.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I
Right.
think it's made by the same people.
It is
I'm
not.
saying.
I
No,
double checked it while we were watching
It's
it.
not
It is not
okay.
the same dev.
OPP.
And I'm assuming they're
A
just using the
lot
same
of-
game maker engine, but
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
bet a lot
doubt
of
it,
these
yeah.
games are
A lot
very
of these-
similar.
A lot of these simulator games run off the same engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But right now, overly positive shocker review. Because you're selling a nerd product to a bunch of nerds.
Right.
But you can get it. It's early access right now. $13. And I would
Worth
say
it, dude.
worth every
So
penny.
fucking worth
Like
it.
you're
I
gonna
think
get.
that's a great price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Especially if they add in more card games and I really hope that they add in like figurines and the ability to like paint them and shit. I think that would be because there's nobody else that does that in the industry right now, right? Like if you had there kind of is when it comes to tabletop sim, you can get like the figurines and everything like that. I
Right.
don't know if you can customize them.
Nothing
But-
in this genre though.
Like that's
you know,
literally the only
simulator.
thing on the market right now for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really cool if they could come up with a game that mimics Warhammer to a certain extent to where they don't get sued, and B, it's fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, there you
lots
go.
of lawsuits out there.
TCG Card Shop Simulator. You can go pick it up on Steam right now. Well worth the $13.
And just as a last minute, I do agree with you. I do think that adding in that PvP where you're like a
Oh, it'd
global,
be so much fun,
like
man.
I think it would be really cool. I think it would be really fun.
It would be dope. All right. We have got a game from Tony called 13Z.
Interested in this.
13Z.
hell yeah.
Okay, so this game was recommended to me by a friend. He told me to just try it out. 13Z is basically like Hades.
Okay.
Hades and Hades 2. It's a roguelike, like almost like a dungeon crawler, but the artwork is what kind of it gives me that Okami feel. Y'all remember Okami with the
Mhm.
paint?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, everything looks
Like-
watercolor painted.
So
It
it's-
reminds me more of Genshin, honestly, rather than Okami. Honestly,
I can see that too.
So
yeah.
I could see Genshin. I said that immediately when the game
Yeah.
first started, but the aspects of this is you go from one floor to another.
Okay.
Basically, all 12 zodiacs is looking for the 13th zodiac, and you're trying to basically claim that slot. Right now, there's like 3 characters, but you only get to play with this one. This one character, you go from floor to floor, and there's elements that you can either put onto your weapons, do more damage, magic, your shield. It's like I compare it to Hades because in Hades, every time you clear a floor, you get a choice. This is your choice, as you can see here, this is the same thing. You choose either fire or water.
Okay.
Honestly, for me, I enjoyed just the little playtest that they had. This game was made by Mixed Realms. That's the developer. They published by themselves as well. I really enjoyed this. This is really good from start to finish. Lots of nice little voiceovers and stuff from the announcer that's helping you. So all different types of abilities per character. And then there's like when you can even change the way she looks. Change it from anytime she changes the way she looks, her little form where she runs from like as a fox changes with the colors.
Okay, so that's like a
cool.
sprint. That's
Yeah,
not like
that's
okay.
like you got a sprint and a dash and all of that. There's a special as well as a heavy and a light attack as you
Cool.
go.
Now,
through.
do all the others like there? You could play as 3 zodiacs, right? Right, as right now.
So as of right now, one for the playtest. There's two other
Oh,
Zodiacs.
okay.
There's two other Zodiacs that pop that I think pop out after they're done with the playtest. So as you can see right here,
Gotcha.
there's all of the Zodiacs that are still alive.
So I imagine you'll
And
be able to transform into all their counterparts,
no, so you mean what do you mean the Zodiacs?
like how you turn into the
Or are
fox.
they like bosses?
They may be
wait.
bosses. I went through.
So
It
you're
looks-
not you're
It looks
fighting
like you
them?
can. I'm watching the actual like the store page, and it looks like the other Zodiac that they have is like a dude with like black hair, and he turns into like a raven or a crow or something.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
There's also
some of
gonna be
them
a
show
panda.
up. Some of them show up as friends, and then some of
You
them
get a
may
sub
show
play
up
in
as
this
a
game
boss.
too.
Yeah, I
You
really,
get,
I really.
you get a
Oh.
sub play in this game too. I like
You know what
that.
this just makes me understand is that I'm fucking not loved. All you motherfuckers get subs when you play video games, but I don't get shit whenever I play video games. Fuck y'all.
Long time subscriber.
Anyway,
But
Oh.
yeah, so yeah, as you can see, like you got a perfect dodge. You pull off a perfect dodge, you get you inflict attackers with chill. There's all different types of variations to what you do. Some map levels is just a level for you to upgrade your stuff, like Chiron with the well in Hades. I'm sorry, I'm reverting back to Hades because this game gave me the most Hades feel for basically the feel of going from platform to platform, dungeon to dungeon.
Yeah.
I've seen the Hades comparison. I can kind of see it, but
Yeah.
I don't know,
Especially
I'm
with it
getting-
modifying like your move sets and stuff with those pillars and whatnot.
I'm
Yeah,
getting like Gunfire Reborn, which is like a sleeper.
You know, I've never
roguelike.
played that.
That one's
You would
that one's
like
a
it.
good one.
you would
Yeah.
like it for sure.
It's awesome.
This
You
is actually.
you don't even have to be a furry to play that one. It's just like
I knew it. I knew it was. I was just waiting. I was waiting for who was gonna fucking say it.
So from what I'm not sure if this is going to be free to play. I would have to let me check. real
I don't
fast.
think so.
probably not.
I don't think
Typically,
so.
these games are. I imagine it'll be like $28 and
Well,
give or
so
take 5.
the developer has made a lot of actually quite a bit of VR games. So this is actually kind of I'm kind of shocked
of
that
their
this is
realm.
not a VR game. But they made Hellsweeper VR, Gordinian. I don't know how it's Gordian Gordian Quest, Sorrento,
Yes.
which if you guys are familiar with, Sorrento is actually a really popular VR game. Blades and Hellfire, VR Essentials, and then now this. So
So what I would like to say about this game is the higher you go up in the levels, the more enemies on screen. And it kind of gave me the Risk of Rain feel at one point when you just got a lot of things trying to clusters of enemies on the screen
Yeah.
all at once. This game can get that way. I also appreciate the perfect dodge system that I know I paused a lot because I had a dog in the background, but I also could appreciate the perfect dodge system that you have in this game where you're able to move. And here we go with a boss. Like it's enjoyable. If it was free to play, where they charge you for little microtransactions, like I'd probably still be down for that.
I
But
could-
if it's like
I can see him
roguelike,
doing it. Yeah.
yeah, if it's like roguelike like Hades, I can see 20 or $30 for a game that you're gonna update. Not bad.
Thir-
Know what I'm
30, I
saying?
think would
I
be
know-
tough. 20, I think.
Yeah.
I think
20,
20 is the sweet
25
spot.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am looking at their future plans. They've got a roadmap up
Mhm.
that they posted a couple days ago. They're looking for more playable characters. They want to add a co-op mode. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. for real.
Three more acts, each set with unique landscapes guarded by their own Zodiac guardians. Bustling village full of new NPCs and quests covered between trials, more elements, skills, and abilities to experiment with, and game balance and combat mechanics. Pretty standard stuff, but
Yeah.
And co-op's kind of cool. That's kind of dope.
Let's
Yeah,
keep an eye
The-
on
the
it. It's
game,
good.
no, the game was just enjoyable. I think I just the
was
artwork
cool.
kind of got me.
It-
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
fun,
dig
yeah.
VR. So
Definitely.
Seems real
that
polished too.
that start menu was pretty dope. You know, the
The window start.
the Windows start menu.
Yeah. Is that a feature?
Run it back a little bit, Sin. This was a that area was I guess a fight area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Here,
looks pretty
there
cool.
you go. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, 13Z. You can request. Actually, the playtest is going on. I don't know how long for. Do you know how long, Tony, the playtest is going for?
They didn't specify how long they was gonna do the play test for, from my understanding. Let me check real fast. I
I'm
can
looking
get
it
you.
up.
It is cool that a game like this gets a playtest though, because usually that's like reserved for more multiplayer style games. So,
They
and I
say
think
we haven't
people,
decided yet, but we will make an announcement as to when the playtest will be over.
Yeah, I figured
Yeah.
they
There you
would.
go.
They didn't give a date yet.
yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully they put this out as like a standard demo whenever they do go full release.
I could see
I'm
them
really
doing that.
I'm really enjoying like demo culture on Steam these days. I think that's nice.
So demo
It is
culture is so
nice.
good. We appreciate any game that gives you a demo first.
Reminds me of the
with their,
old days. The fucking getting
refunds.
demo
Right.
disc and playing them and then
Dude.
getting
Hell
hyped.
yeah.
man.
Dude, I
Oh,
remember
Pizza
demo
Hut.
discs.
Pizza Hut
disc,
demo
yeah.
Oh
discs.
my god.
Yep.
So, all
Those
right.
those little tiny ones that were in the fucking AOL bullshit too.
Oh yeah, all of them. No, those were
Yeah,
those were
man.
your corn
Those are
discs. Those are different. Enigma, you got no.
Oh
was-
shit!
No. Anyway, okay, all right. Let's move on. Bill, I've wanted to talk about this game for a while. I have watched this game when I saw this game. I know Enigma has talked a little bit about it. He played the demo of it, but as one of the true, Souls guys on our show, with being you and obviously Tony, Anotria, the last song. So I saw this and thought very much of you.
Mhm.
You know, people are touting it against, Lies of P, against the Bloodborne, Souls like. Good, bad, and different. What do you think, man?
I'm not sold as of right now. I've played about an hour and a half of it. Went through the first area, got to the first boss. It's feeling like a game that has a lot of potential that is in early access. This feels like an early access title in its current state. And the reason I say that is because there's a lack of polish that you kind of would expect from this style game that it just isn't here. Plus, it's buggy as hell so far. It's
Okay.
been, at least like right from the start, it was a chore to actually get into the game, because not only did it take forever for shaders to compile and whatnot, but I had it on a standard drive, and that might have been why the shaders took a while. But on standard drive, the game just would not launch properly.
It's not because I mean, granted, I had the demo. I was playing the demo and I had that on a M.2 drive, and it took forever to fucking load those shaders.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
Just
whenever I did try to load into
unoptimized.
the game, the game would not function. Like there was no voiceovers, there was no music. It went through the intro
Oh, wow.
cutscene, and then I was just like stuck on like a weird floating screen, couldn't control everything. Switched it over to an SSD, worked fine from there. Was the most bizarre thing ever. No files were corrupted. I didn't do anything like that. I just literally switched it from hard drive to SSD. Game worked fine.
Hmm.
That being
Okay.
said, I've had 3 hard crashes in the first hour and 15 minutes that I played.
Yeah.
Nice.
For no reason in particular. One, I died. The other, I was doing a visceral attack, and the other just kind of happened while I was traversing. So
And this is the kind of game you don't want hard crashes in.
yeah, I mean,
Not
yeah,
at all.
kinda, because it does have a decent autosave to it, as
Okay,
most
that's
Souls
good at
likes do.
least. Yeah.
But
So-
it's
That's
still
really- that's-
frustrating. Like if you're in the middle of a boss fight or something, I
Yeah.
went onto the Steam forum pages and stuff, and I guess some people were having crashes in the middle of boss fights. Then they load back into the game, and they're like in the boss arena. There's no boss there, and it kind of like soft locks
Wow.
them.
Glitched it. Weird.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Okay, so
Yeah,
all,
that's
all
really
of-
sad because like
getting all of that out
yeah,
of the
I was
way,
going to say, all that aside, how, yeah.
the gameplay itself is it's a Souls game. It feels very much like it has pulled aspects from every popular Souls like that's out there. The combat feels Dark Souls probably more along the lines of like the original Lords of the Fallen. It's got a weightiness to the sword play, but your like movement has kind of a float to it. It's a weird space to be, but I don't hate how the weapons feel. It's got a parry mechanic a la Lies of P and Sekiro, where perfect timing attacks will make it deflect, and it builds up a stamina bar, and then you do viscerals. So it's kind of a mixed bag of a bunch of popular Souls components thrown into one, but it doesn't really go out of its way to build upon
Be
them.
good at one thing. Yeah.
I mean, it's competent. Like the parry mechanic, it's fairly forgiving and it does feel good when it works. But it just there's not a real differentiating point to the combat that I've noticed so far. One thing I will give the game a lot of praise for so far is the way it handles the classes and its skill tree. So it's got both leveling, classes, and the skill tree. You are the maskless one in this game. So as you go through, you will collect masks, and these masks will effectively be your classes for the game.
Great. So
Okay,
we've
so
got
it's like Mortal
maidenless
Shell
and now
kinda?
maskless.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
And the cool thing about that is weight and stuff isn't a factor, and you can have 3 classes hotbarred at a time. So the game
Yeah, I
actually
saw
kind of
that.
incentivizes you to bounce from
Switch
like
between
class
them.
to class depending on what your situation is. I
I
think
think you
that's
can do
really
it in
cool.
the middle of combat too, can't you?
You can. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
free
Nice.
switch at any point. So I
That's
like
cool.
that. I like
Yeah.
that quite a bit. I'll always praise a game that wants you to experiment and rewards experimentation, and that kind of a mechanic in this game definitely does just that. The skill tree is also fairly interesting. It's not made up of a bunch of like just like number buffs, like get this and do more heavy attack damage, or get this and dodge better. There's some ebb and flow to the skill tree. Like one node in the skill tree is whenever you do light attacks, your next heavy attack is going to do more damage, and vice versa. So stuff kind of like that. There's also the magic tree was weird to me. And this is the first time I've ever seen a game do this. It had specific buffs to your spell slots. So you get 4 spell slots, and it was like the spell in slot 1 gets a reduced cooldown if it hits an enemy, or the spell in spell slot 3 will do more damage if it's a ranged ability, like stuff like that. To kind of it was
That
it
is
was
a
weird.
different way of taking something on like that. That's
Yeah. I can't be mad at it because it's unique and it's at least trying something different in that regard. I just wish that it played more with some of those more unique aspects in the actual gameplay, because from a gameplay perspective, this is a cookie cutter Souls like. We've seen it time and time again. The genre is becoming more and more flooded with these style games, and unfortunately I don't think it excels enough on its combat, which is where people are going to judge it from the most, to kind of push itself into the spotlight, like what Lies of P did, or like what like I guess Wukong did, if you wanted to call Wukong a Souls like.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
one, welcome to the party, Bill. Myself and Enigma have been here for a while with MMOs and survival games. It's welcome to the genre that is now just getting flooded with crap. Not saying no cheers crap, but yeah, I mean, so a couple things here that I think that hurt the game, and I do want to try it. I've played the Surge, and I like my Souls, like not obviously as much as Bill does, but I do enjoy it. Is one, I think it's trying to be Souls, but then at the same time it's like trying to distance itself some, because it's like one of the very first banners that it put up here was like, what makes us different than Souls like, or different than every other Souls like, and it's like, okay, cool, like the mask system obviously and things that you talked
The
about,
mask system's dope. Yeah.
but other than
Yeah.
that, like it really, you know what, when I watch it, and I haven't played it yet, but when I watch it, I get very much of like that, the Surge, or what was that one that we played that was the in space? I can see
I
Void?
said that while I was playing it. I
What was that?
did for a few Discord people. It feels like Hellpoint.
Hellpoint.
Hellpoint,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Hellpoint, yeah.
not that's unfortunately not a compliment, because Hellpoint was another Souls like
Oh, what the fuck was that?
that.
A camera commercial?
it it had so much potential, and it squandered it, and I feel like this game is kind of doing the same thing. And Hellpoint was buggy as hell, as is this. Hopefully they will fix it moving forward, because like I said, in its current state it almost feels like an early access title with the quality of the game. I don't know if it's better on console or not, but
so that's what a lot
PC-wise,
of
it's
people
bad.
that's what a lot of people are saying. I was reading through the comments of their Steam reviews, and a lot of people are basically saying, yeah, it's just really buggy. The bosses feel really rough right now. They're trying to portray this as like a full release, but really it should just be they should have went into early access with it. it's not ready to be released. Yeah, there's just a lot of the same
I'm
shit.
surprised they didn't go early access, but I also feel like with these style of games, early access doesn't even benefit either. They probably should have just let this one cook more.
Kinda.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they should have let it cook
Yeah, I
more,
agree with that.
especially considering like so they put a lot of effort into the mask system and stuff like that. But the weapons I feel like are where one of the big aspects that the game's like failing on. There's several different weapon classes. You have your straight swords, rapiers, big swords, hammers, that kind of stuff. But unlike Dark Souls and Elden Ring, where each weapon in that subclass, there's some variation to the move sets sometimes. Every single weapon in those subclasses behaves exactly the
Same
same. They have
thing.
the same heavy
Oh.
attacks, the same light attacks. There's
Yeah.
there's very little variation,
That
and
sucks.
Yeah.
that does suck.
it just feels like each weapon is a stat check. Like, okay,
it's-
do you,
so
is
it
this
really-
upgrade to the straight sword I was using?
So it really just sounds to me like they either ran out of time or ran out of money or ran out of both and had to release it in its current state. That's what it sounds like to me, at least.
It could be.
Don't know
I
if
have
that's the
high
case or
hopes that
not,
they
but-
keep supporting it because I do think there is a decent game here.
I know
There's
they've got a
some
roadmap. They've
Yeah.
got a roadmap split
So
out
did Concord.
until the end of until March of 2025. And they got some
Yeah.
good stuff on the roadmap, but like a lot of it's stuff that I'm just like
So did Concord.
like
Should've
the one
released
in
with-
November. The top patch in November. Save and loadout preset system. Like so that should have been in the game.
Yeah.
should have been there at
Like,
launch. Yeah.
Camera
Definitely.
guidance and cinematics to guide the players to certain falsias and final acts. Like that should have been in the game. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think another
Yeah.
thing that is also drastically hurting it, right, is one, the cost, right? It's $50.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That
it's-
$50 is
Ooh,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
$50, yeah.
Expensive.
Especially for a
con-
product in
considering-
this state.
Considering the like Hellpoint and what was that one that had the katana axe? What was the
Mortal
name
Shell.
of that?
Mortal,
Mortal
Shell.
Shell.
Yeah.
But considering that both of those were like
35 bucks.
30
yeah,
or
like
something?
sub 30, 35, somewhere around there. Like that 50
see,
bucks
I-
is rough.
I see. I felt better about that when I played Mortal Shell. I didn't feel like the game was rough, but I didn't feel like
I love
But you
Mortal
didn't
Shell.
feel like
Yeah,
Mortal
you feel
Shell
like
is
you got
one of those.
shafted.
I didn't feel like I got shafted. Mortal Shell was such a good game to me. It was rough, but it wasn't like
Or I should
like-
say you didn't
Yeah.
feel like you got katana axed. 'cause
Katana Axe. Yeah.
What is that?
That makes
other,
sense.
Bill, the other roguelike that came out that is set in this, it's set in this time frame, and it's like
Timecia.
no, wait, what was it?
Thymesia?
Timecia.
Yes. That was like where it's like everything's like black and green, and you have like the
You
shadow.
look like a
Yeah.
plague
You're the
doctor,
plague
yeah.
Yeah,
doctor.
the plague doctor.
Plague
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that, this Hellpoint, all of these games, they just it seems so familiar. And I think one of the other
Yeah.
things that this game fell on and they really leaned into was this setting. And I get it, like right, like the Italian setting, but
It's cool.
It
Yeah,
It
is.
is
I mean,
cool, like the
it's-
Renaissance setting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's dope.
We've
but-
talked about it. We've talked about it plenty of times. Even New World, we were like, man, this is like a setting that doesn't really get
Yeah, the concoction.
featured all that heavily.
And
Also-
especially in the Souls like actually seeing like the vibrance and the color and stuff like
yeah,
it screamed that one. What's that one Witcher? There's a Witcher DLC that
Blood
had,
and
like,
Wine.
yeah, Blood and Wine. It has that kind of vibrance, and I will admit the world looks beautiful. The character designs from the characters I've seen look really good. I can't take away from it.
right.
The
I just
masks look dope.
But
Yeah.
here's the kicker, right? Is that you can't like this is now post Lies of P, and obviously that's not your fault, right? Like you developed this game, you were developing this game. By the way, this is their first game. This is by Jima Studios, I believe, is the name of the
Mhm.
Jima. I don't know. It's JYAMMA. But anyway, this is their first game. And like all for it, but like you developed this game while I'm sure like Lies of P's may have been happening, but we're post Lies of P's. So
Yo, that guy was playing those drums. You're like,
you're gonna
Boy.
you're gonna end up being compared to that because again, like though it's not the
Yeah.
same setting, it's still the same. Like it Renaissance-esque, right? Like Lies of P, very Renaissance-esque.
Yeah, French Renaissance versus
yeah.
Italian Renaissance.
There was another one
Yeah.
of these that you played that was also like in that Renaissance.
Steel Rising.
I think
Still
it was still
Rising.
rising. Yep, still rising.
Like we have listed how many in just this short amount of time where it's just like this is what you're this is what you're competing against. Not saying that all of those are great, but like there
Right.
are
I
some
do think
definite
Lies of P
diamonds.
moved the bar forward for non from software Souls likes though. I feel like that was
They
like
did
a
change it
hard
up.
tipping point.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did
and
change it
I
up.
also think that though there's some contention as to whether or not you want to consider it a Souls like or not. I don't. I think it's a God of War like if you want to compare it to something. Black Myth Wukong is also going to drastically push this forward, at least just from a graphical standpoint, solely alone to just be like, hey, this is what the level that we're expecting. You know, and
Yeah.
you know, so anyway.
I
Well,
hope
that
they
is-
keep with it. I hope the
it's an
roadmap
Otrio.
does improve things. There's a good game in here somewhere. I don't think it's ready yet,
Yeah.
especially
kinda
not
what
at
I
a
felt.
$50 price point.
Nah.
That was kind
coming
of
from a place
what
where-
I felt when I played the demo. I was like, I really need Bill to play this because I can't do it justice. But to me, it felt just lacking something. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. What is this? Continue to the site. Okay, thank you. The site that you guys sent me was like asking me to subscribe.
Did you?
So, I did not. I did not.
Oh darn.
All right. Well, that wraps up all of the games that we've played, at least that we're going to cover on the cast. We actually played, there's some more that we played. I know Scruffy played some other games. I actually have played a game that we're going to talk about next week being Throne in Liberty, which I know that Tony, you actually played the beta of that when it was out. So
So
I'm
did
interested
I.
to kind of pick your brain. Oh, okay, you did too. I did not know that you did as
Yeah,
well.
we talked about it.
I know we talked a little bit about it. Yeah, we'll talk about that then. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the news section, and there is a lot. But before we get too heavily into it, Concord has rightfully taken the throne of Microsoft and Activision versus the FTC because we have talked about this fucking game so much. I am really ready to be done talking about this. But Concord
I was too.
is at a budget of $400 million, just as an FYI.
Plus, that's just baseline. That's just what they're basing it on. They're just like 400 million at the minimum.
Yes.
It's probably more than that.
And this was supposed to be Sony's, well, what I guess is being claimed as Sony's Star Wars. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're meaning by that. Like, were they saying like this is like
So
their
they
ongoing
wanted
saga?
it. Yeah, they wanted it to be like their new ongoing like saga, like their new ongoing IP, their new big IP, essentially. From what I can understand, they were wanting it to be something that they could market into the future, moving forward, and here we are.
Do you guys think that they actually could have done that? Like, do you think Concord, let's say it was successful, do you think it had the legs to do that and to
No.
be that?
No,
No. I mean Overwatch
not in
didn't.
its
I
current.
don't think Concord
400
did either.
million for a game is crazy.
That is.
Well,
400
yeah.
million is wild.
here's the wild thing that when we're talking about the price of games, right? So Astrobot has sold extremely well, right? It has done very, very well as far as reviews and all of that kind of stuff. When asked about the game and whether or not it kind of relieved some of the pressure and stress that the developer had for whether or not like the typical what we've seen, right? Game comes out, if game does not just do phenomenal, then company may get shut down, right? Or that arm may be canned or whatever else. The comment, what really set me back was the developer said, well, it's done okay. And I'm like, God damn, man. Like, what the fuck is the world now that we are in where so a game like Astrobot that comes out to wild success, everybody pretty much praises and loves it. I mean, I guess it's the same thing with like Hi-Fi Rush. Like, it's just like, well, it did okay. It's like, God dang
People are
man.
still basing things off of COVID numbers. I still swear that that's the issue. These gaming companies saw the number peaks during COVID, and they're still trying to maintain those highs 3 years later.
I mean, we've talked about it in the past. That's a lot of, I think, what's going on with like you see these subscription services like Netflix constantly jacking their I got to stop doing that. Jacking their
Well,
prices up, not off.
Yeah, jacking up, not off. Again.
You see them constantly pushing those prices up, right? And I think you're completely right. We've talked about it in the past where they're so used to that huge influx of money that they had when everybody didn't have anything to do and they were just sitting at home. And like, I don't know why they can't just go back to what they were. Like, why can't we just be like, hey, huge global fucking pandemic happened. We got to go back to what we were doing before because that wasn't sustainable, guys. I hate to tell you this.
So-
Like, this is not
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Let me-
Yeah,
400
maybe
million
I
is
can
wild though, considering
400 million is the large. If I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I was reading something. That is one of the most expensive games ever to
Yeah.
be made.
to
That's
put it in
like, ever.
perspective, it's double what God of War Ragnarok cost to make.
Wow.
God of War Ragnarok was a
and-
$200 million game.
Not just Sony ever. Across the entire industry, this is the most expensive game to be made.
Holy fuck! GTA
That's-
6 is supposed to cost $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
Fuck. Holy
That's-
Yo,
That game will make that back though.
Jesus
Well, let's-
Christ.
I don't know.
especially if they
That's-
charge
that's a- that's a shit
$150
ton.
for it.
That's
but it's
fucking wild.
surely-
I was not expecting
but-
that.
It's surely gonna make a lot of money. This,
But-
however, didn't even pass 20. What was the actual amount that this game made?
I don't even think that we
Like,
know. I think that they
maybe
said
like
that
40
they sold
bucks,
like 20. I
like
think they
50
said that they
bucks.
sold 20,000
copy.
copies of it.
One
So-
one
Okay,
copy.
so I'm looking at a site right now. Cyberpunk. I'm just going down the list of all of the numbers. Cyberpunk with a cost of 316 million in a lengthy development time. And then Red Dead Redemption is number one for it says estimated cost being around 370 to 540 million.
Well, again, that's estimated. This is also estimated.
Between. Yeah, this
400
is
million
so-
is estimated. That's the low end. They actually think that it cost a lot more than that. Like that's just the estimated like barrel,
Ridiculous,
bottom of
bro.
the barrel.
You want to know
So-
something? You want to know something crazy? Fuck me, man. I looked up just like a list of most expensive. You know, I love my list of most expensive video games. Monopoly Go, $500 million, bro. Like,
What?
Why
What?
is Monopoly Go?
development?
What?
That's what it says. This is
There's no
development.
way.
Dude, this is development cost. It's
There's no
$500
fucking way.
million. I don't know why.
There's no
I-
fucking
I-
way. I highly doubt that. But
Okay.
we'll go with it. Sure.
I mean, that's what it says is 500 million.
The other bigger hitter on this entire thing was the fact that the studio had like a really toxic positivity like culture in it, to the point of like you weren't allowed to say anything bad about the game, according to I think it's the PlayStation,
maybe
these
they
guys
should
from
have.
Sacred Symbols.
Maybe
They
somebody should have
basically
said
were saying that people were not allowed to say bad things about the game. So if you had a complaint about the game, like, oh, we should like stop and change this because it's not going to fucking do well when we release it, you couldn't have said that in their culture, apparently in their studio culture. So
Jeez.
very interesting, man. It's very, very interesting to see all the bullshit that happened. And granted, this is all coming from an insider. This is all coming from I think it's the PlayStation, the Sacred Symbols podcast.
Mhm.
Colin, I think it's Colin Moriarty was saying that he was talking to people that were insiders inside of the Firehawk Studios or whatever it's called. But yeah, it was not a good time.
It was just
and
doomed to
it
fail
was-
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I do want to retract or correct one statement real quick. Astrobot has received amazing claims now, sales wise, at least in Japan right now, which we would assume it would actually do really, really well. It's actually only sold 12,700 or no 9,000 total copies, which is actually kind of crazy. It's crazy low.
Yeah.
So anyway,
And I got the numbers of slightly. It's guesstimated here, but they think that around 25,000 copies of Concord were
Yeah.
sold.
That's what I heard
in and
as well.
around times a $40 price tag. That comes out to like $1 million. You know, within wiggle room. So
that's wild, man. Wild.
They didn't
That
make
12
anything
that
back.
12,000 was also just physical copies. That was not factoring
Digital?
in digital
Okay.
sales. Yeah.
for
For Astrobot.
And digital
Astrobot.
is king
Oh,
these
Astrobot.
days, apparently.
Well, either way, if you think about it, if they only made 25,000 at the most, they probably maybe doubled that, if that, for digital copies. They did
I don't
not
know.
make
I don't
enough
know
to
if
make it
that's
back.
if that's total copies or digital.
I think that's only the physical copies that they sold, like Bill said.
Could be.
If
So,
I remember
like,
correctly. It was like
give or take
25,000.
maybe 500,000. So 1.5, if that. That's still wild.
Way below their fucking target demographic.
Astronomically.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Sony can make it up because they did have a state of play this week. And we got some new things that came out of the state of play. And before we dive into the actual stuff that we are excited about with state of play, what did you guys think? I mean, what are
Okay.
your guys' thoughts?
So, for me, there's one title that's coming up that I was excited about that kind of blew all of the bullshit of Sony away for me. At first, I was just like, man, it's another state of play. But then I saw this title and I got a flutter. Legit, I was like, oh, that's coming out. I got the little itch. I was like, oh, I need this. So I had my moment.
What
But
title is that?
What was the title, Tony? Fuck.
Ghost of Yo. I was waiting till
Go
to him.
ahead. You
Hit
can
it,
say
man.
it. I can hit the button.
Don't
I gotta be
tease
the
us,
only
Tony.
one to fucking.
But Ghost of Yote.
Tony's over there giving his
just
little
like,
tickle. And he's just like,
not
nah,
sure
I ain't doing
bro.
nothing. That's all you're getting, bro.
Man.
But Ghost of Yote, I really loved Ghost of Tsushima. So with that being said, this is just going to second installment. I didn't think they were coming out with another game. I thought that was it.
I knew that they would, dude. That was one of their biggest sellers in the PS4, man. Like, come on.
When you got a biggest seller that do really well, I sometimes feel like you want to sully it with another game because by that token, I feel like there should be another Sekiro game, but it still hasn't happened.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, it still hasn't happened. I'm excited for this. This is going to be great.
This one's interesting to me because it's not set in the same era. It's like I think it's like a couple hundred years later, if I'm not mistaken. It's like the Seto era or something like that. It's like when Japan was starting to shift over from samurai to like a more Eastern, I don't know if that's the correct term for it, like a more modernized culture of some sort. So like apparently you're basically playing in an era where you as a samurai are not really wanted or needed.
There's guns now. That's just
So,
they've
definitely more modernized. Yeah.
They modernized.
And apparently it's a new character. Obviously it's a new character. You're like 300-400 years in the future, but it's a new character. It's a female protagonist. Really cool. She looks like she's gonna be a dope fucking protagonist, honestly. From the little bit that we've seen.
We need more of
Oni
those
type
other than
mask.
Aloy. We definitely need
sick.
more.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. This was about the only thing that I was excited for as well, was this one and Monster Hunter.
I laugh because Aloy, we're gonna talk about it later on, but God, man, Sony will not let that poor character just like breathe for a second.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, man.
Not at all.
I will say, sorry, and sorry, I keep interrupting you. I will say, I picked up Ghost of Tsushima for the PC. It was just on sale recently. I'm
it's really shitty,
man.
It's shitty.
Yeah,
it's
I'm a little disappointed, man. Because like,
is it bad?
I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. Like the actual gameplay and the story is great, but like I for some reason remember it being just like stupidly fucking gorgeous on the PlayStation, and it looks like ass on the PlayStation on the PC, dude. It looks like ass on the PC, dude. I do not know what the fuck they did to it. Dude.
This did not get the same treatment, that at least from what we can see, right? Under the hood, it may, I don't know, the developers behind it may have put the same, but it does not feel as beautiful, as smooth, as well put together as like God of War, the Horizon, all of the other ones.
The grass looks like a PNG, dude. Like you're running through the grass and it looks like a PNG. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I remember this game being like,
so it don't look like that on the PlayStation.
It looks like
really good.
Trash. And I don't know if that's like I'm missing something. Like maybe I'm missing some ultra
that has all the quality on it.
Maybe I'm missing like an ultra HD texture pack.
No,
I didn't see anything.
It's known across the board right now for this game that it is not in a good state. It was not a good port. Not
I'm
even
really
just from the
sad, dude,
way
'cause,
that
like-
it looks, but from the way that like it plays and runs, it
Yeah,
chugs. It's not good.
Man,
it does.
that's sad to
I
hear.
will say that it does chug on occasion. I've started running into like sections of it where I'm just like, man, that was a really weird like glitch. What the fuck, dude? Because like I remember we talked about this. I gave Sin shit because he was like, this game fucking sucks. I hate this fucking
I
shit.
still
Blah,
think
blah,
it
blah, blah,
sucks.
blah. And
Not
when I
wrong.
was watching people, I was with you, Tony. I was like, this game looks gorgeous, man. But yeah,
It's
playing it on
beautiful,
PC, I'm just like, what the fuck?
I
Oh
have
man,
a
I can't believe they
feeling
ruined that.
that Ghost of whatever, right? It was Ghost of Tsushima. Now it's Ghost of Yote. We're gonna get Ghost of Jowei and Jawei Siwa and on I'll keep going wherever else, Ghost of Justin Bieber, Ghost of P. Diddy, keep going, right? Anyway, I'm telling you, mark my words, PP predicts they're going to continue to milk this like almost like Assassin's Creed, I feel like.
Well, that's what I was about to say. This is Sony's Assassin's Creed. Yeah,
I don't think
I
they're
don't
gonna do
think
it
it'll be
yearly,
that.
but they will definitely do it.
I was
No.
about to say they're gonna put more quality into it than a yearly release.
Yeah, I'm not
but-
saying
True,
yearly. I'm just
definitely.
saying they're gonna milk it. Remember early God of
Mm.
War, right? We got God of Wars like boom, 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 boom. I mean, they didn't weren't yearly, but they were one right after
Yeah.
another. I'm telling you, like we're not gonna end up getting fucking Infamous, like because Sucker Punch made Infamous. We're
I
not
would
gonna
love
get
that though.
we're not gonna get another Infamous, right? Like because they're
No.
making this. I really wish we would. I'd love fucking
Yeah.
Infamous. Maybe we'll get Ghost of Infamous. I don't know. But
Mhm.
anyway, I don't know, man.
Ghost of
I don't. I mean, sure, like I'm happy for them, but you're gonna continue to see as we continue to talk about the Sony State of Play. What I saw and what I was disappointed in, and I've said this for a long time with Sony, and actually it's not even just Sony. I'll knock all of the game shows that do this. Is that like we are so much in an era of just kind of, oh hey, that was really successful, awesome, let's like rinse repeat it, change a couple
Recreate it,
things
yeah.
and do something different, right?
Mhm.
You're to see it, you got this, or Ghost of Tsushima, we're gonna do Ghost of Yote. You're to see a game that looks very
So
similar
we don't
to
like sequels anymore.
it's not that we don't like sequels, but for God's sake, I want more than just a sequel. I want more
there's
than just
there's a
Not,
sequel.
not even just sequels, but like remakes and remasters are
There's-
flooding the
That's
market right now
fair,
too.
but
Yeah, that's
I feel like
where
getting
I'm
on
coming
sequels
from.
is a
Well,
new
sequels
level.
Well,
of
are
weird.
fine.
there's sequels and then there's fucking Assassin's Creed. Like you can't tell me that Assassin's Creed is a sequel.
Right.
Like every game after that is a sequel. It's just a copy paste. Like
That's fair, but I
For the
don't
most
I don't
part,
think
yeah.
having one sequel to a series is
I
getting
agree
it to
with
that
that.
extent.
I don't think that
Especially
we're
after
to that
a
extent right
5-year
now.
gap.
But
I don't
yeah.
think this is the game to compare like in that sense,
No,
but
so take in the whole state of play and look at it from the whole thing, right? Because we got remasters that we're going to talk about, even with the new game that like here we'll move to the next one, but like looking at like this, which was the Midnight Walk, right? Like this is very much little like a Little Nightmare or whatever that's called. Like it's I don't like no, it's not Little Nightmares, but like I get that same similar vibe of like, hey, like this is like all of the same kind of stuff, just in a
I
different.
don't know what you're talking about, my dude. This seems
So this
way
reminded
more
me of
unique
the
than-
of a
Yeah.
Tim Burton film like or not number 9. Y'all remember that? With
Oh,
the,
yep, I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
I-
gives me.
Oh, this wasn't the
I
one I was
was
talking about then. Never mind.
I'm actually excited to play this. This
This looks
really
this
amazing.
looks really cool.
Yeah.
Wait,
This is
Now-
like
this wasn't it.
this
wasn't
is
the one I was
this
talking
is
about.
stop motion
But this is-
horror done extremely well in a gaming format. It
I'm
has me
excited for
so
this.
intrigued.
But
So
to Sin's
intrigued.
point, I will agree in one aspect of it feels like games now. It's sad to say this in this time period that we're in. It's a fad. What's hot
there's less,
right now?
There's less creativity. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
less
creativity. Like
And
okay,
more
so Souls,
and more. Let's be safe and go with what we know is
there you go.
is going to work.
Souls like
you know?
games are working right now. Let's do a Souls like game.
That's
Oh,
nothing
battle
new, though.
royales
It's-
are working
it's-
right now. Let's do
That's
battle
been-
royales.
Isn't-
that's been a
Yeah.
thing for almost a decade now. It started. We're not saying it started, but it really became prominent to what I've noticed in like the survival games, the BR games.
Yeah.
All of those games. It is like what's the next fab?
But
I,
Yeah, but to
it's
have
nothing
this-
new, but it's sad to see because you do get a lot of rinse and repeat in games.
I mean,
now.
it's just to have an entire
Yeah.
showcase around what seems like a lot of very similar stuff. And this was not the game that I was thinking of when I was looking at Little Nightmares 2. I know that they are releasing, but there is a game that is somewhat similar to this that has been talked about, and I need to go find the name of it, but that is very
animal
similar
one?
in the style, right? Like it is the stop
You're talking about
motion.
South of Midnight,
I don't
the
know.
the action game with the
No, that's
That's
the
also kind
Louisiana
of stop
Bayou.
motion. That's
that
like
one
the
has
Bayou.
that one has like a stop motion look to it. I don't know. There's just I gotta go find it because there's a game that like when I saw this I was like, oh, this is a direct rip of XYZ. And just a new perspective. And
Reanimal?
when I looked at them side by side, I'll find it and talk about it either in the show notes or something like
Gotcha.
that. But
Sure.
Yeah, do that because I don't know.
I mean,
It
I'm
just
not-
sounds cynical. It sounds like a cynical take to say that about this game in particular. The rest of the showcase I'll get, but this one got me excited just because I hadn't seen anything like it before from not just from Sony, just in general. Like I love horror games, and this is a style of horror that
I love it.
I'm excited for. And the fact that it's a simultaneous PS5 and VR release, I think they need to be doing that more with their VR titles. I think those devs should work on standard game ports unless the VR is like
Okay.
the only driving factor with it.
My only issue with the VR is I understand that we're supposed to be upgrading and going to the next best thing. Cool, right? But is it not kind of shitty of me, like shitty of them in my aspect, just a general opinion, that these games are coming out with VR2 and not supporting the original VR to force you to go out and buy the VR2 in order to play this particular title on that new. I get it. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you don't
I
have the
do.
if
It's
you don't have
different
the
than
new
how, like how
headset, then-
Oculus does it, where they try to support as much as they
See
can.
what I'm saying? That's what I
But
feel like. I feel like
there's
that's
also
kind of
got to be a
money
point
grab.
though that like the original VR doesn't sync up with the PS5, and since it's a hardwired VR headset,
Fair enough.
I
So
guess
it
they
almost has to
should
be
have.
VR2 if it's
Yeah.
going to be a next gen release.
But even then, that's kind of the Apple mindset on. Well,
Yeah.
it's the next device, and we have a new plug, so you gotta
Here's
make it
the-
work.
here's the
Totally
kicker,
get
right?
ya.
It's not like one. I would say I would even be okay with you saying, "Hey, we got a new system, we got better hardware, like it's gonna work." Like myself and Enigma have been in the VR game for a while or whatever, but this PlayStation, I would say more than any of the other ones, have fallen trope to the VR of just really not even fucking supporting it. Like they can't even give
No
these fucking things
content,
away at this
yeah.
point. Like people are not buying them. They're on discount, and there's just nothing there. I really, though I
But
think the headset is amazing.
I am
get it the
happy
fuck
to see
off of
that
the system.
I am happy to see that they're actually developing stuff for it. Like at least
Yeah.
they are. We've seen over the last few Sony presentations, we've seen a lot of VR content. And granted, they just released the VR2, obviously. So I would hope that they would have stuff coming out for it, right?
It's a
but
year,
I do
and
agree
there's
with
not
you.
that much.
Yeah,
man. Like, it's
I
been
do
out for a
agree with you.
year.
But that's again, that's not just Sony though. That's like VR in general. Like VR
Yeah.
in general, if you're not going with like indie development titles or the what's the indie site called that's on the Oculus, it's like the
For
fucking
the MetaQuest, the
there's
It's
that
like their
there's that
store.
third party there's that third party store. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh.
Whatever it is, it's a third party thing where pretty much anybody can upload it to, right? If you're not going with that, a lot of the titles that you're getting are just bare bones titles that's you see like a yearly release of like a new title once in a while, you know.
And you know
So-
what the VR stuff feels like, Tony, is it feels like, again, going back to PlayStation and these other companies, right? It's not just PlayStation, but these companies saw, oh, fucking VR's hot, right? Oh, the Oculus all of a sudden has like got some fucking, traffic to it. Let's make a fucking headset. And I'll give it to Sony, man. That headset is bar none
headset is
fucking
good.
beautiful,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
should have released that shit able to people to play it on PC because it would have sold a fuck ton more. But
Oh yeah.
it's just like, oh, hey, we're gonna make a product but we're not going to know what we want to do with it, right? We don't have a game
Right.
plan for it, and they just threw it out there to die, and it sucks. Like it does suck,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I don't know. So, um,
Last
Yeah.
thing in reference to your comment though, Tony, about the old gen headset and stuff. While I do think that there's a grace period between the two, and I think we're still in that grace period where PSVR 1 and PSVR 2, like it's the same thing with like what they did with the PS4 and the PS5. You have to have that grace period where there's some overlap games, but eventually you need to move forward with the hardware, or else games are going to get held
And
back.
I 100% understand that. I get
Yeah,
it. It's just
but we're still in that grace period 100%. It's not even been a year for the PSVR 2, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
gotcha.
All right, so moving on to the next thing that they talked about on here was again we talked about poor old what's her name? Alawe.
Aloy.
La 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 la.
Don't do my girl like that. She's fabulous.
I have actually never once played a single one of these.
haven't
And I've been
either.
They're
told
good.
that I should.
Yo,
Yeah, I've
They're
been
good.
told I
Need
should.
to.
Yeah.
But
They just come out, unfortunately, when better games came out.
yeah, well, so they are now doubling down and they are remastering Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
And in the process of doing so, they're fucking raising the price of the original one on PS4, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah,
it's
'cause
like
they're
50
giving
bucks
a
or something
discount,
like that.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean raising the price, the upgrade price? Is that
No,
actually
raising
the
base
something-
game
No,
price.
raising the base game price
Oh,
so that
Because
people
whenever you
don't go
buy
and
the-
buy the
if
new
you-
one, the old
Yeah,
one,
if you
because the
if you
new
own
one
the
is cheaper.
original. Yeah, if you own the
Yeah.
original, the new one you get a discount on it.
Yeah.
gotcha, man.
So-
That's
So this game this game launched 7
Kinda
years
sleazy.
ago, right?
Right.
Which is
What-
crazy to me, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was
let's-
about to say. Like, what can we
let's-
can we
let-
definitively
can-
set like
can-
a time
we-
frame?
Yeah, I was about to say, do we have like a
No,
time frame
man.
for like when remaster? Because like, didn't they remaster what's it called
Last
fucking
of Us?
Last of Us 2
Fucking
yeah,
Christ.
like
after
a
like
year,
5
a year
years
or two after
or something
No,
like that?
It wasn't even that. I don't think.
Was
They've
it?
It was even
remastered
shorter.
it, like twice, right?
It's
Yeah,
crazy,
both of them.
man. Yeah.
They've remastered both of them now, I think.
I just
Yeah, no, it is. I don't know. I mean, because like we get remasters of like decades old games, which is totally fair. But like I think
Yeah,
we
it's
need
great.
at least a decade, at least.
well, like I'm
I
cool
don't
with
know.
this. Like we're getting Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
completely
huge.
okay. Like
that is totally
know,
fine, dude.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually good. That was a
How
really
about you
exciting news to
remaster
hear.
a goddamn Splinter Cell game for once? Jesus.
Yeah.
How about you remaster the one fucking game? And here, I'm a big brain this shit, right? I swear to God that I think that they are holding Bloodborne remastered.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
for-
they're ever gonna
Yeah,
remaster
I
it,
don't think
man.
they're
I
gonna
just
do it.
don't
No,
think they're
I'm
going
telling
to.
you right
let him
now.
cook.
I
Yeah.
think part of me really is like, yo, it was real weird. I'm just saying, real fucking weird that during this state of play, we didn't hear shit about the PS5 Pro. Like they just had their thing on PS5 Pro, but it really wasn't accepted too well,
They had
right?
a-
They're getting kicked in the
They had a section
not
about the PS5 Pro,
anywhere
didn't
fucking close to what it should have
It,
been.
it was
right?
just talking about the classic
they? Yeah.
collection.
30,
the
30,
30th
30th
anniversary.
anniversary.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
get
Well,
like
I mean, let's be real, okay? Nobody fucking was okay with the PS5 Pro except for the
that's
fucking Sony
what I'm
ponies that are
saying.
joining.
So
Right.
hear me
Right.
out. Hear me out, right? What's the one thing that every PlayStation owner and just the world wants right now? Right? We have been asking and begging for Bloodborne, right? So maybe, just maybe, the cynical fucking bastards of this of the world are like, hey, we're gonna have this system. People are gonna fucking hate the price point, right? It's gonna be fucking miserable. But if you buy the PS5 Pro, you get Bloodborne. And Bloodborne Remaster comes out alongside of the fucking PS5 Pro. And the only way to play it is actually on a PS5 Pro because the remaster can only fit on a PS5 Pro for whatever fucking reason.
I don't think so. I
think
think
they're
they're
holding
saving
out
it
for
for six.
longer. Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna
I
say.
may not think so, but that would be dope, and I'd buy my.
On-
See?
I buy
It's
it,
right
bro.
there. Look,
on
boom.
to- on
Yeah,
top
well,
of
I don't
they,
know.
they have never
top of
made a
that-
game exclusive to the mid-generation system.
Yeah.
on,
that-
on,
that
on
would
top
be-
of that, I do believe that they're going to push for a PC release of that because I
Yes.
don't think that like all of their fucking remasters have ported over to PC so far. So
That thought was definitely ingrained in my
I think
head,
so. At
especially
least.
after I
Correct me if
saw.
I'm wrong on that one.
I don't think so, but after I saw like this one tweet or something, it was like after all these failures, especially after Concord, the one thing that will save Sony right now is dropping
Yeah.
Bloodborne PC.
Yeah.
And it's like that made me think, I'm like, dude, they definitely
Huge.
know what they're doing. They're just holding it in their pocket until that day comes.
It's gonna
that
be
they
a PS.
really need it, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a PS6,
PS6.
title.
Yeah,
Like
I agree with that
they
one.
won't make
Believe so.
a game exclusive to the mid generation.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody ever released a fucking $700 system before. right?
That's
They
something
have.
I don't want to see. I think that's going to set a horrible precedent for console generations moving forward.
who-
If we
no-
start like having
nobody's
that
ever-
mid-generation.
I don't think there's ever been a mid-gen
Exclusives.
console that much, but they've released consoles in the past that have been
We're gonna
close
be
to $700.
years later, and
The
we're gonna
PS3
be
was close. The
purchasing
closest we've had.
It was close to
$1,000
$700. Yeah.
consoles.
No, the
Y'all
fuck
can
we're
sit here.
not. No, the fuck
Yes,
I am
years
not.
Watch.
years later, bro. That's gonna be
Yeah,
next
I
year,
am-
bro.
I am
What do you mean?
Watch.
I refuse.
$1,000
I
consoles.
will
Y'all can
never
say
put
what you
$1,000 into a
want.
console. There's no
Oh,
shot. There's no shot.
until they release 2K like
I
27 or
promise.
something, you will.
There's no shot.
It's
There is no shot.
2024. I'll
Yeah.
give it. It's 2024. I'll give it.
Is this your
I'll give it
inauguration of
26.
PP Predicts? This is
Yeah,
his
2026.
inauguration
yeah,
of
this
PP
is me.
Predicts?
Yeah, this is people. Yeah. I'm on this. I'm on this. Great.
He's on the PP.
Godfather.
Okay,
I got
Godfather.
You. Hold on. Yeah,
Okay,
I got you.
Godfather.
Hold on. I
That's
got you.
No, I'm muting you right now.
No.
2020. Mark my words. 2030 or just right before 2030.
Ain't no.
We're
So,
gonna
I
be
mean,
paying
you're
$1,000.
saying, so you're
for a
saying that the next
I
generation.
agree.
You're saying that next generation at least mid-step then, because next generation console, if we have the PS5 Pro come out, that means that we're at a half-step console, which means we probably have at most maybe 3 more years, maybe
Mhm.
before. So we're going to be at
2027,
28. So you're
2028.
saying PlayStation 6 is going to be a 1K console. There's no fucking shot.
$1,000.
I'm telling you.
I'm going the opposite
Base?
route. I think it's going to be less than what the PS5 Pro was, just because
they're
Less
gonna
competition.
they're gonna eat so much
$1,000.
shit on this
That,
console.
but see that doesn't make
if
any
it's going
sense.
this
Let's-
way, they're going to have less competition, so they probably
but see
won't
that
be that
again,
much.
that doesn't make any sense. Less competition means they can charge whatever the fuck they want.
No, that's true.
Yeah, but you're not so okay.
So,
I
you
don't
know
think
the
they're
only
gonna stop-
reason-
I don't think they're gonna
You
go
have to
that
stop
high,
thinking
though.
these consoles though as just consoles. Like
They're
they are
computers.
computers,
They're
and when
computers.
you are edging into that price point, you're no longer actually right now like at $700, right?
Yeah, you can get a decent PC.
You
for
are
that.
now in the realm of competing with PC, so you will always have a competitor in PC, just like
Well,
this fucking is
co-
always going to be a
co-
competitor
compete-
for
competing
the
for
DS and
$800
Switch, or
bucks,
DS, the Switch.
competing is a little like that's saying
What
a
I'm
lot.
saying, but what I'm
Competing
saying
for
is that
$800
you are
bucks
now looking at a person that's going to say, "Hey, the only thing that is keeping me from switching back and forth, right, is the ease of saying, hey, I want to just hook up to my TV, right? Like the
True.
person that goes and buys a
Fair.
console, right, for the most part, is not the person that's just gonna be like, fuck it, I can go buy a computer and just hook it in the back. Literally the same way you're gonna do a PlayStation, I can just hook the fucking my computer right into the back, right, of my TV, and that's it, right? Like that is the whole thing. So I don't know, man. Whew, 1,000. All right,
How do we
The only
how do we
reason-
get off to this on fucking Legacy of Kane?
because
fucking
I went down a
Legacy of
road
There
of
was so
saying
many
Bloodborne
remasters.
remasters. So,
Yeah,
all right,
I don't
Legacy
know.
of Kane, Soul Reaver 1 and 2,
Ugh,
remaster got
this
announced.
is dope, bro. Like
Um,
the only thing that I'm pissed off about this is that it's not coming to PC. So far as I can see, at least I think.
The only thing I'm pissed off about is that it's a remaster and not a full-on remake.
Yeah, I wish it was a remake.
I'll agree with that. I wish it was.
I'll
a
take what we can
remake.
get. Hopefully it's not a shoddy remaster where they don't do any quality of life to it. Hopefully they kind of polish it up
I
a
think that
little
they've
bit.
already said that they're doing quality of life. They're polishing.
They
the
can say in one
graphics.
hand, shit in the other, and we'll see
True,
what fills
true.
up first.
From everything that I've seen though, like the graphic quality was updated. It does look okay. It's I mean
It's a
you gotta
remaster.
remember,
It's
like
just-
yeah, it's a remaster of a game that came out in what 2000
It was the PS1 era, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so no matter how far you go, it's not going to be that much of
Was
a
it-
leap,
no,
but
it's
it does look
PS2.
good.
Dude, give it to
It
the
does
same
look
crew
okay.
that did Dead Space, right? And like
Yeah.
you don't have to change a fucking
That
thing.
was a
Just give me-
remake.
Very
though.
true.
I,
That was
yeah,
a
but what I-
remake,
here's
though.
what I'm- yeah, I'm just saying, go give it to them. You don't have to change a fucking thing. Just make it prettier. Make
agree
it
with you.
real pretty.
I say give it to the people who did the Spyro. I don't like Spyro looked incredible.
Yeah.
Toys for
Reignited.
Bob.
Toys
Give
for
it-
Bob, yeah.
Who's what's the company that did the remaster for Dark Souls when it Blue
Oh, Blue
Blue
Point.
Point.
Blue Point's
yeah.
owned by Sony, so they might as well use them.
give them that. Let them
Toy,
fucking
wasn't
get into it.
Toys for Bob as well? They just shut down now. Or is that
no,
Activision?
No,
that was Activision.
Toys for Bob
right?
got released. They
They
got
not shut down. Yeah, released.
Yep, they got released. So okay. One of the other things that I did find very odd as well during the showcase was Power World made an appearance, and Power World's in the middle of a fucking big ass lawsuit. So
Yeah.
you know it's
That-
kind of
Yeah, that
real
was kinda
weird.
You got to remember though, this was more than likely in the works before they got into a fucking into that whole.
You
No,
can't-
I'm sure, but they
Yeah,
could
they-
have pulled. They could have
Yeah.
pulled it still.
They could have pulled it. You remember last week
But-
we talked about this, and I gave a PP predicts, which was that Sony is gonna throw some big boy money, you know, at this
yeah, of
and
course.
be like kind of
Yeah.
defend them a little bit. I'm wondering if this is not holding true.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
I think they have to now. I mean, they bought or not. They didn't buy
mean-
it, but they bought stakes in them.
That would be the only way I could see them winning, is because I figure Xbox has thrown money at it as well,
Uh-huh.
because
I wouldn't
Xbox
imagine.
got
I
the
wouldn't doubt it.
What-
Game Pass deal. So if both Xbox and Sony are helping fund this, like they're investing in getting this game.
Well, also
Sticking around.
let's be real. I don't think that fucking Nintendo has a leg to stand on. They're literally telling from. I don't know if this is true. I've heard some rumors recently that the patent that people think that they've hit him with was literally patented like
After
a
Power
couple
World
like
release.
after Power World release. So there's no way that they
what
can
a
stand
dick
on with it.
move.
So
Yeah,
it's one of those
seriously.
situations where like if that's true,
If that is true,
I think Power World's just looking at him like, shut the fuck up, Nintendo, get out of here. Like
Yeah.
nobody gives a shit.
You gotta
You're
remember,
doing everything
though,
you can.
It's Nintendo in Japanese court, and they've never lost a lawsuit in Japanese court.
They've never lost a lawsuit against somebody other like Sony. Sony is huge. Like I don't know if they can fucking win against Sony. Like again, like you said, if Sony,
that's assuming
if
that
Sony-
Sony's got a dog in the
that-
fight.
it is, and that's what I was gonna say. If Sony is backing them, I think that's a huge fucking step in their direction, right? Because like Sony's big in Japan, dude. Like I think Sony's bigger than Nintendo in Japan.
to go off this because we did have it in as a quick hit, but that announcement that was just that Power World's launching on the PlayStation 5, correct? That they launched.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct.
but-
with
and
that
I had
launch,
that in
they
the quick
also
hits.
didn't launch in Japan.
That's the
from
thing.
what I
Yeah,
understand.
68 countries they launched on the PS5, but not Japan, and that's
Mhm.
directly due to that lawsuit.
So Nintendo's just
Yeah.
they're gonna. So wait, hold on a sec. So Power World is just gonna pull a fucking WoW and be like, okay, cool. We're just not gonna bring it to China. We're not bringing Power World to fucking
Yeah.
Japan. You're not gonna.
So
Power World's
Nintendo's
gonna
just
pull.
screwed in all of Japan's gamers who are playing on the PlayStation. in this.
Nintendo is essentially being Sony, what Sony did to what's called
Yeah.
Arrowhead and Helldivers this
Yeah.
moment for one country.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
wild, man.
Oh,
Well, the other big news that came out of the state of play, which I know that Tony and Enigma are both super excited about it. Is Monster Hunter Wilds got a release date,
release
their
date, baby.
pre-order bonuses. All right, so that's awesome. Well, so that was the state of play. We'll go ahead and move on. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Hey, you can move on if you want to. I don't
Nerd
know.
out.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, we
Nah,
talked a
nah,
lot
you
about
can.
Monster Hunter. Like,
I
Yeah,
thought you
Monster
were
Hunter.
also into
I'm
this, though,
just
Sin.
really excited for what I've seen, man. This is gonna be great. I'm just happy that they actually gave a release date finally. So this
I-
is
yeah,
good
I
news
just
for me.
need to. I need to know what the multiplayer shocker is going to be like, right? Like,
I mean, we already basically know. Again, it's
Mhm.
it's jump in, jump
It's
out.
Monster
Like
Hunter.
it's
Yeah.
not like Monster Hunter World was, where you have to like go from everything that I've
yeah,
heard.
but I want to see how
They-
how well it does.
They
I
have
get what you're
said
saying,
that
yeah.
they've improved upon what they said. Like in World, you had to jump in after you meet the monster. Your friend met the monster. You had to wait for them to go through
Yeah.
the cutscene. It's just a lot of something I thought they could have updated. Like after all of those years, they could have updated, but they never did. Capcom just never put their foot down and update the game. But with this game,
Well,
like
well,
Enigma said,
hold on, because Capcom did update the game quite a bit. They just didn't update
but
certain
I'm
things
talking
that the
about
community wanted.
yeah, that one thing that really
give
they
Capcom a little bit, They did
Capcom,
push forward some
you're
updates.
not Ubisoft. You're not Ubisoft. My bad. But I'm sorry, Ubisoft. But listen, I'm really excited for this. If it's truly the jump in, jump out mechanic, it's gonna be great because, like, let's say, Shannon, you're playing and you just randomly win on a hunt. I could just seamlessly jump into your match, help you with the hunt. We both get items. We both jump back out, craft gear, etc., etc.
I know that
I know this is gonna be good.
I know that they updated us on something called focus mode, which looked really fucking cool. As well as wounding. Like I think that's really cool. The wounding aspect is something that the community has been asking for a long time, and we didn't get it in Worlds. So I'm really looking forward to that, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't say how excited I am. The big baddie that they showed in the previews looks fucking dope as shit. He's like he reminds me of what's that dude in League of Legends that uses the chains? Is it Silas?
Yeah,
Silas,
Silas.
yeah.
Silas, yeah.
The big at least the big one that they showed in this previous one has like these chains, like his arms. He like slams down a fucking huge thing of like chains or some shit. Looks fucking dope. I'm excited, bro.
That's sick.
You said League of Legends. Now I want to play League of Legends again.
We
Anyway,
playing League
Don't
after
do
this?
it, bro.
I gotta go to bed.
I'm not.
So question about this though, and this actually leads us right into our next topic, which is you mentioned Ubisoft, but this game is launching on February 28th. Well, Ubisoft just decided to move Assassin's Creed to February 14th.
2025. Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. 2025.
I know. I'm just saying now.
February
Next
20th.
year.
February 14th,
Next-
2026. Like,
Who knows? It might be next time.
okay.
They wanted to release this on Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the reason. So I bring this
Please
up.
love us.
I bring this up in between because, obviously we're talking a little over 15 days difference, right? Do you think that either A, Monster Hunter knew, or B, that Assassin's Creed just chose poorly? Like, I know there's a lot of we're talking about Assassin's Creed.
I think Ubisoft chose poorly because even if you release before Monster Hunter, it's not like I can tell you.
There's no competition.
People have not there's a big difference, and the only reason I say that is I can see people liking Assassin's Creed, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can like what you want, but
no, you can't.
Monster Hunter,
stop.
Monster Hunter is
stop defending Ubisoft, Tony.
So Monster Hunter, I need my keys, but Monster Hunter is a title that like from Worlds everybody's been waiting for. And Rise was something that they put in
Rise
to
didn't
scratch
do it,
the
man.
itch, and it didn't do it. And this is another like Monster Hunter Worlds. There's no competition.
No, I know.
I feel like
so to kind of build off of that as well, like tinfoil hat theory is currently that because of all the situation, I wish you would have actually started us with the other two options that we have for Ubisoft right now. But
I mean, motherfucker, I can just click a button. Which one you want me to go to?
I mean, we're going to talk about it either way, so it doesn't really matter. The current state that Ubisoft is in is not great. We've talked about it over the past couple of weeks, right? Like the past couple episodes, we've talked about how Ubisoft, they're tanking, their stocks are tanking. The fucking they're owners of the company. So some of the owners of the company are asking for a complete rehaul of the company and a firing of the leadership and everything like that. Tinfoil hat is that Ubisoft is looking at Ubisoft is looking at Assassin's Creed Shadows and they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall that it's not going to do well, right? So the best option for them is to move the release date to a date that people are not going to be as open to buying the game and playing the game. That way they can kind of compress the amount of bad press for that day
Give
and
it a
maybe move it
scapegoat
in.
because they're
Yeah,
competing
yeah,
with a bigger
exactly.
game.
Exactly. Yeah, so
Mm.
it's one of those
Huh.
situations where like
Never
tinfoil
thought about it
hat
like
is that they're kind of like trying to make other releases their kind of smoke screen almost. I don't know how much truth there is to that. It sounds
I-
like something Ubisoft
I
would do,
also wonder
honestly.
how
But
well that'll work for them. I don't know. Yeah.
I could see that, but
I
I
don't know how
think
well
it's
it will
more
either.
due to the legal issues that they're having with the plot point of
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadow more so than anything. And probably
Possibly.
the game's just not in a good state. And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Ubisoft
it's,
hasn't been doing good well though.
yeah,
No,
it's. I
not
mean,
at all.
you've got Ubisoft's staff forces on
Terrible.
strike because they're doing in person. Talking about doing in person work orders. You've got that they just pulled out of the fucking Tokyo Game Show. Like,
That's
Yeah,
directly due to
this-
the lawsuit.
Well,
though.
yes,
Oh,
Yeah,
obviously.
this is crazy, dude. Like everybody's talking about. They're like, why would they do that? This is their big bro. They literally just got in a fucking like you think they're gonna go to Japan and be like, hey Japan, we know we just pissed you guys off for the past 5 months. Come and check
Yeah.
out our game.
No.
Mm.
They
They read the room.
reception on
They
that.
read the
who-
room.
Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
But what is wild is this is almost like watching a literal car accident happening, and
Yeah.
then just
Mhm.
it just won't stop, man. It is like just watching this thing burn to the ground. Which and again, it's sad and it sucks in the sense that like
I don't think it's
what
sad at
Ubisoft
all.
Yeah, I don't think it's
was.
sad.
Ubisoft deserves it.
What I'm
Mm-mm.
saying is sad in the sense of like what like look at old year Ubisoft, like old yesteryear Ubisoft, right? When we got the original
Yeah,
Assassin's Creeds, when we got
Prince of
It's sad
Persia.
that we don't.
yeah,
It's sad that
Prince
we
of
don't
Persia,
have the
you know?
original Ubisoft
Before they
anymore. It's sad.
bastardized it
it's-
into
it's-
Assassin's
it's-
Creed and made it a year.
Yes,
It's
Splinter Cell,
it's sad that we don't have the original Activision. It's sad that we don't have the original
So-
Blizzard.
So far
It's
from
really
all that.
sad.
no,
They're
I mean
so
I
far
get
from
it.
all that. I mean, everything has changed so drastically, and it's even worse now.
But we've said this before when it came to companies.
Mhm.
Companies that started out when we were younger, it seems like they've forgotten like what the video games is all about. It's more
Oh,
more about the
100%.
bottom dollar now.
It's all
And
green.
that goes from IGN to Ubisoft to Activision. They all doing it now. It's
Well, it's also a factor of like the original people running those companies when we were kids, when they were making games to make games, right? They're no
Mhm.
longer in ownership or running those running those companies. Take a Blizzard for instance, right? Original ownership of Blizzard hasn't run Blizzard for a decade,
Well-
like for a long fucking time.
Okay, question for you: if if Star Wars Outlaw never came out, right,
Mhm.
and that doesn't happen, and the let's turn not much, but let's turn the arc on Assassin's Creed Shadows to make it where it's not lawsuit worthy, right? Do we think that Ubisoft is in the same exact boat that they're in now? With
No.
those two things kind of
'Cause-
changed.
Because their
Oh.
biggest issue is the fucking lawsuit right now from
Yeah.
Japan. That's been their biggest issue right now. On top of the whole situation with like Star Wars isn't really a factor in and of itself, other than the fact that it just didn't sell well. Right?
Tanked
you
their
know how much-
fucking,
well.
it tanked their fucking stock, dude. Like,
Yeah, it didn't
Star
sell well.
Wars
That's what I'm
Outlaw-
saying.
Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws. Let me see, cost.
I mean,
I definitely don't think it would
Oh.
be as bad of a state. I mean, these are the two biggest like things that are really drowning Ubisoft right now.
It
they're
is,
they're
yeah.
not doing good on really many fronts, if any, at the moment. But you take those back, and I guess they're at least floating.
to build,
They're where they were.
What happens to your beloved Siege, my man?
Well, listen, Siege
Yeah.
is the only thing keeping Ubisoft alive right now.
Yeah,
We've
truly.
talked about that already.
And
Yeah.
Siege is so up and down. It's not doing amazing, but it's still again, keeping them floating afloat.
It's
Yeah.
almost something. Something.
How's X Defiant doing these days?
They just
apparently-
released season 3, so we'll see if that
Two.
brings any player base
Two.
back.
The,
Or season 2,
70
yeah.
to
Yeah,
130.
the fact that we haven't heard anything does not bode well.
No,
No, we did hear
a
something. He
statement.
came out. Developer came out and said, "Hey, we're
Yeah.
not in a bad spot. Like we're just, you know,
That's what he said.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
Trust
totally
me,
doing
trust
good,
me, we're
guys.
not in a bad spot. I'm trustworthy. That's my forward my source.
Yeah,
So did you
Hilarious.
figure out how much
Hilarious.
Outlaws cost?
They said it said between 70 and 100 and give me a second. 70 130 million.
That's a big number. How
Yeah,
the fuck do
pretty
you
big
lose?
gap.
How the fuck do you gap $75 million? Like I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's
man.
what
I need
I'm
to buy a Bentley. Okay. I don't know, man. It's just weird because again, like the pacing at which and the just how quick Ubisoft just turned, man. We're like, yeah, hey, like, okay, we had X Defiant, not the greatest launch, but it's not fucking terrible. Obviously, Skull and Bones, not great. Like big disappointment there. But then like, you had
What
Prince
do
of
you
Persia.
mean? Two million players. What do you mean?
Real people
Hmm.
talk. But Prince of Persia, Last Crown, up really great. And then now it's just like, I don't know, man. It's almost like they're in a nosedive that, you know, I guess my next question here is, do we think that Ubisoft is going to be either splintered off? I mean, is it going to be picked up and bought? Are we seeing the next coming of the next merger happening here?
I hope
I
So,
mean,
not.
we've been saying
I
it for
really
a
hope
while.
not.
I don't even know who.
I'd rather
who,
see them sell off IPs and just fizzle out than I would
Yeah,
see
what-
them
what
get
Bill
bought
says,
out
I'd rather
entirely.
them do that than somebody buy them out and they take up the same reins of bullshit, just trying to keep. No, I hope that they fizzle out and they
Yeah.
IPs go.
We haven't
Well-
seen a good merger yet. But from the Bungie with Sony,
Right.
from the Activision Blizzard with Microsoft, none of these mergers have actually done enough positive in my eyes to warrant the
I don't even know who would be a good buyout, honestly, because it's not being Activision. Activision cannot.
Nintendo.
They
Nintendo buys
physically cannot.
Ubisoft.
Nintendo, holy no.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it'd be honestly like either Tencent or Embracer, if
Blah.
anyone.
No, fuck.
Embracer's,
Yeah.
Embracer's
I-
not buying anything either.
Yeah,
So
they're-
I would take
so-
I would take CD Projekt Red to take their company.
They
it
ain't got the budget for that.
They can't do that.
Like it,
No.
yeah.
Well, I
that-
will say right now, if this is the chance. Oh yeah, well in chat people are saying EA. So
Yeah.
EA, could you
I
see
think
EA and
EA will also
Ubisoft
get
fucking
Yeah, that'd be-
merging? What the hell?
that'd be
Oh
so
my
much
God.
better. Yeah.
Oh man.
that would be catastrophic.
But I would say if there is a merger on the horizon, we are not able to give or giving you any kind of financial advice. The Pre-Patch Podcast releases itself from any kind of financial responsibility or lawsuits that you couldn't incur by making financial decisions. But I would say maybe buy some stock. It's down fucking cheap right now. You got the cash, maybe buy some stock.
Buy
because
cheap,
if they-
sell cheap, baby. Let's
if
go.
they that's not how that works. Don't do that. don't buy cheap, sell cheap. Yeah.
That's
cheap,
that's
so
an
cheap
enigma
is
on the
great.
streets, man.
Yeah.
That's an enigma on the streets.
That's,
Oh
that's
my
what it is right
God.
now, man.
That's working the corner right
Jesus
there.
Christ. All
No.
right.
Honestly, I think we should just buy them. Why not, guys? They're cheap right
Pre-Patch
now.
podcast. We just pick them up. The five of
Pre-Patch
us.
podcast going to acquire Ubisoft.
I bet we could fucking do it better. We can run it better. That's for damn sure.
Probably.
All right. Well, if
Man.
we did own Ubisoft, would we make it so that all games are, or a majority of games are physical? Because, you know, half of our podcast fully loves
all
physical.
digital.
We would.
Oh
Bill would
my
beat us.
Oh
Bill
man.
would-
Everything's digital. I'm gonna sell you a plushie. It's gonna be digital.
A digital plushie.
Digital
That's
plus.
that's
They call it an
NFT.
NFT, brother.
Yeah,
I know, bro.
Oh
God.
man.
Well, this report is coming to us from GameIndustry.biz, but apparently 75% of games sold in August for the UK charts were downloaded. It is
That's
a
10% from last year. Yeah.
year
I was
over
I was
year.
about to say that's low considering last year I think it was more, wasn't it? Or is
No,
this
no,
year
it's
more?
this is higher. Yeah.
It was 65%
Okay.
last year. It's 75% this year.
I
It's
knew
only
we
going up.
had discussed that last year as well. I remember us discussing this last year.
Yeah, and like we were talking with Astrobot, like the physical sales being 12,000 doesn't really mean a lot if the
nothing.
trend
It's
is
a drop in a
following
fucking
from
barrel,
region
yeah.
to region. Like if 75% of the Astrobot sales were digital, then yeah, it's
Soon it'll be
Yeah.
opposite. Soon it'll be
I'm
5% of games were sold physically. that's gonna.
we are getting close to that
that's
threshold where
gonna be it.
the headline's going to change.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah.
I'm for like digital and everything, but I also am still there with you that I think that they still need to offer a physical copy of something. Like
Well, they've gotta-
I
there's-
just
There's got to be
With
some
the
type of
exception
law.
of
there.
like games as a service, like there's certain games that I understand there's no point in making a physical disc for it.
right.
But
wait,
if you're going to make a
wait.
physical
So
disc,
you're telling me that you don't want a physical disc of that fucking what was
Concord?
Square Enix's Square? No, I mean
Foam
obviously
Stars?
we want Foam Stars. You don't want a fucking physical copy of Foam Stars, Bill? Come on,
dude,
man.
can you imagine how much that would sell for?
PlayStation
One
I
6,
have,
cent,
a,
that's
I have
how
a physical
much.
copy of Overwatch 1.
straight digital.
Oh,
I honestly, I think the only way to like save physical media, like to be distributed still, is like for the companies to stop mass producing it and just produce it on order, like something in that sense. I don't know how viable that is, how much like
It's
money.
cost too much
Well,
money.
I was about to say
but-
your cost on that game would go up by like 90%. So
but
instead of paying
they're
60
losing
bucks,
money
you'd be paying
mass producing
600.
games. I don't know. It's just going away. Then it really is.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's-
mean, one of the
that's
things
the
that
sad
has to
part
happen
about it.
is you got to have a law that's in place that at least protects you if you are going to have digital. But California says, well, you think that you own your digital games. California says otherwise. You don't own shit.
Well, no, it's true. They're not
Gavin-
saying that. They're just saying now
first time
that
I've
sellers have to actually clarify, hey, you're not
Clarify
buying
it,
this
yeah.
game. You are
Renting the
you're
license.
renting it.
You're renting it. Yes.
First time I've agreed with California in a minute.
Yeah. Seriously.
But I mean,
First time I've ever agreed with Gavin Newsom. That's
here, okay, hold on. Let's turn the show. We're not a political podcast. Here's the thing that about this though is that this is not. I like. Okay, cool. It's a microcosm step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But
It
by
doesn't
no-
actually fucking do anything.
Right.
No.
Like-
it's not even a microcosm step in it's a nothing burger. It has it really didn't do anything.
I mean,
it just did.
It's something that is basically going to be slammed into the EULA,
ESRB.
or the EULA somewhere way down there. You're never going to fucking
Yeah.
read. By the way, you
Which
should.
is probably already there.
Like, you
Honestly,
sh-
it's probably already there.
Right.
Some
No,
Ubisoft puts it
probably-
right in your phone. I
probably
will give them
so,
that. They
yeah.
will put that shit right in your fucking face,
Yeah.
man. They're like, you don't own anything. Like,
This is
Exactly.
not yours.
We reserve the right to
That's why
revoke
it's
this
reserved
at
the right to
any
revoke it.
time.
That's why they're so easy
So-
to shut shit down.
yeah.
And make sure you shut your blinds and close your doors and soundproof
Yeah.
your fucking windows. Because if somebody hears you
Yep.
playing that game, it's gone,
I mean,
baby.
the only good thing about this is like it lets people be aware because like it was honestly not up until like maybe 5-6 years ago. I had never thought about it that way. Like I didn't realize, hey, I have a library of 300 games plus on Steam. I don't own shit.
Well, you don't have a library.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know
don't have a library. Steam has a library of 300 plus
Yeah.
games that you paid them for.
This is
Exactly.
not
So
yours.
yeah, I mean, to that aspect, I guess it's good to make people aware who might have not been. But it's not like what is that just in California state that
It's just in
it's just-
California.
it's just
yeah,
a
it's just
state
the
law, yeah.
legislation in California.
so yeah, I mean that's
But
a very
it
minor
affects
subsect.
companies that are in California. So if a company is in California, they have
Based
to
in
abide by
California.
this law. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where the game is going.
I think it also you have to abide by it if you're selling to California, don't you?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're in
Yeah,
if you're a
selling
developer in
or selling out
California
of.
and you are right, you've developed the game, then you have to put that in there, no matter if it's selling
Yeah.
worldwide. Doesn't-
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So
So
yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up all of our hardcore news. Now we're gonna get to the softcore
the
news.
softcore,
The
news.
softcore news. Which is going to be
Mhm.
our quick hits. Quick
Or
hits
actually,
news.
if it's softcore, it's more like the.
Okay, hit it.
All right. We good now? We go with the dirty
Yeah,
joke?
sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You're the one that said it was softcore. What do you mean?
That doesn't, you inferred that it was disgusting. I just said
Uh-huh.
softcore. That doesn't
Uh-huh.
mean anything. So, All right. Well, the quick hit news, if you're new to the show, is a section that we go over kind of articles that necessarily we don't want to spend a long time talking about. We do not want to spend a long time talking about. I am looking at you for. But it is something that is somewhat newsworthy. For the 14 people out there that did play Hood Outlaw and Legends, which 3 of them are right here. The four of us. The 4 of us.
We were all playing that shit.
We were their player base. What do you mean?
It is officially shutting down, which is sad.
That sucks.
It is.
They
I actually think that was a solid game, but you know,
Yeah. We don't have time to talk about it.
Are they revoking access or to the game, or how?
Of course they're
I mean, it was
revoking
online. I think it was online only. So
I mean, independent servers is what I'm thinking. If you want to,
There wasn't independent servers.
yeah, I doubt they'll integrate independent.
Let me see. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying anything about them. In a recent statement, revealed that the game will shut down and the players will be unable to access the title. Yep. And any additional content such as DLCs to date. So you don't own shit. But they're saying digital and physical retail sales will cease on October 16th, and those who purchase the game 14 days before will be able to shut it down. Why the fuck don't you
2 years ago?
Why don't you stop selling it? Yeah.
Yeah. What a dickbag move. All right.
Fucking idiotic moves, dude.
All right. Stellar Blade, the developer, is being sued because there is another company out there with the same
movie production company called Stellar Blade.
So they are being sued. I'm sure that probably will not go anywhere. To be 100% honest,
Sony behind them. Yeah.
Nomura, the Final Fantasy director, says, I make attractive characters because people don't want to buy people don't want to be ugly in video games. I beg to differ. Have you ever played UFC or any game that has a character developer? Because they are ugly as shit.
That's so mean. That he said 2. He said because people don't want to be ugly in video games 2, stating like inferring that his player base ugly.
Got him.
Damn.
Nomura with the burn. I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Minecraft is coming to PS5 soon. Now that Sony has given dev kits, so that's big news for
Phil
for
Spencer was quick to throw a jab at Sony's way. Like, we would have had Minecraft on there sooner if Sony would just give us the fucking dev kit, but it took this long.
So hold on a sec. Is Power World and Minecraft, these 2 fucking games, are they gonna bridge the gap and bring the 2, fucking vitriol hatred star-crossed lovers together? Like, are we gonna get them together?
Fuck no.
Okay. All right.
Not even we know, but fuck no.
Okay. All right. Well, fuck them then, I guess.
That's wishful
DBD
thinking.
Behavior Interactive acquires Darkest Dungeon dev Red Hook Studios, so we will probably absolutely see a DBD crossover.
And we'll never get another fucking we'll never get another Darkest Dungeon.
No, but you're gonna get a Hooked on You sequel. That'll be great.
No, people with this though, people were worried about this acquisition because I don't know what studio it was, but Behavior just shut down. I think their partner studio.
Yeah.
What was it? The one? Gosh,
I don't remember. We talked about it a while.
Probably coming to make Deceit. Oh, who knows?
But yeah, so people are like, I don't know about that.
Was it Signal 16?
All right, y'all look it up. I'm gonna keep going. Original Life is
Midwinter.
What? Y'all, I swear to God, y'all got to get better with this. Original Life is strange developer. Don't nod. Pauses 2 projects as a result of a rough start to the financial year.
Okay.
What?
Wait. Original Life is Strange developer.
Motherfucker.
Don't nod.
Bro. Comma,
2
something,
projects,
punctuation, proper English, bro.
Start to the financial year
from the tweet. All right,
dude.
I even put don't nod in quotes.
Hooked on Phonics worked for
You
Sin.
are the fucking generation that I despise. You're the one that I see on TikTok all the time when being like, "Yo, these fucking
I'm the same generation as you, and I fucking understood.
Fucking punctuation, you motherfuckers. The way it's written, chat, is I swear to God, it says all one original because also.
Wait, what do you want? You want it to be original.
Capital O, capital O, capital L, lowercase I, lowercase s. So this really reads as Original Life as a title is strange. Developer, don't nod, right? Capital D, lowercase n,
What
causes
were
two
these supposed to be quick
projects
hits?
as a
Were
result
these
Oh,
supposed to be
man.
quick hits?
God damn it,
You're
man.
dragging this on, man.
Fucking Christ. Platinum
Just read
Games
it
has
right.
acquired the wonderful 101 franchise from
Here,
Nintendo.
Here, I got you.
Oh man.
Thank
The
you.
wonderful
Talk about
All
some
right.
Power
heretical,
World.
man.
We already talked about
Launched
Power World
on
launching to
PS5.
PS5. Shroud's new game, Spectre Divide, has laid off 13 employees 3 weeks after the game's release. This is, if the dude would stop playing fucking Deadlock, maybe, just
Right.
maybe,
Right,
his
play
game
your
might
own
be more
game,
successful.
bro.
Is he
Like-
still playing that? Like,
He's still
Yeah.
playing it.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
It is
That's
full blown.
crazy.
So
I mean,
Um,
if the dude really loves it, hey man, fucking more power to him.
more
dude.
power to
I
him, but
just
you got a
want-
fucking game that you've
You have your
released,
own
dude.
game.
I'm just saying, dude. Like, if the dude likes it, play what you want, man. I guess.
And
That just
Keanu
goes to
Reeves
show
will.
you.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that just goes to show you. Even gamers don't know what they want because
No,
he got
no,
a
no,
whole
no.
game and
It's
doesn't
true.
play it.
Bro,
It's very
made a
true.
fucking game. He's got money invested in this game, right? And
You
he's
don't
just-
actually want vanilla.
I don't know, man. At least he lasted longer than Concord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Keanu Reeves will star in Sonic X Shadow Generations
Yes.
movie DLC. The movie's getting a DLC?
Wait, what? Oh,
What-
the
The
game is getting
Sonic's
a
The
movie
game's
X
getting a movie
Shadows
DLC.
is getting a
DLC
DLC about the
of the
movie.
movie.
DLC about
And
the movie.
and
I'm gonna
Keanu
make it a
Reeves
rule
is
that y'all
playing-
cannot put
That
quick
one
hits in
wasn't
here
mine.
unless you fucking write this shit properly. Yeah, I'm
You
like
know-
Ron
you know,
Burgundy, motherfucker.
basic-
I'm gonna read what's
you
on the
know,
prompter.
you,
bro.
you know, basic deduction and fucking
All right.
literary skills can
Fuck
dictate.
yourself, San
Hey,
Diego.
That sounds kind of weird. Maybe I should put some fucking mindful stuff in there and be able to look at it and be like,
Alright.
oh, okay, there's supposed to be a period right there. There's supposed to be
We
a comma right
With the
there.
mere
are-
periods.
Yeah.
Done. Episode 138 is cooked, as am I. I hope you guys really enjoyed the show. Thank you to all of our live viewers. And again, if you are listening to us post, you should definitely come and join us live 10:30 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube and Twitch, Pre-Patch Podcast. Obviously, huge thanks to all of our other hosts, Enigma, Tony, Scruffy, and Bill for being here. Bill will be on hiatus. He's going to be on work assignment next week, but we do get him on work release the following week, so he will be
We,
let out.
We're putting him to work
it's-
next
it's
week or
not-
something.
It
It's-
hurts me. It hurts
It's
me.
it's not work release. We're actually going to divorce, and we only get him every other week. So
Oh,
you
that's
know,
right.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Split
Um,
ownership, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been great. Obviously you can catch all of us on our individual channels over on Twitch and YouTube, so make sure to go check them out. You guys have done phenomenal with our subscribers, so thank you for hitting the sub button and giving us the thumbs up and like. Obviously you can get it on all of our shorts, all of our content. What are you laughing about? What's so funny? I know I'm selling here, man. I'm selling here.
The doc.
The teleprompter. You said you'd
The
read everything.
teleprompter.
Sin is being a big dumb bum who can't read. Okay. All right. You
He's
guys,
okay.
we're out of here. I'm done.
Wait. I got one more thing to say.
No.
Black sheep sell cheap Ubisoft stocks. Let's go.
No. Okay, we're out. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
This is
Installation.